All right. So, motherfucking episode 3, fucking DEGREELESSNESS podcast. It's Bobby Bao. It's Shanghai Pete. What's poppin', Bobby?
Oh, man, I'm chilling, yo. I'm just checking out that Rocket League is apparently on sale for $12 right now, so I'm thinking about buying it for future me. I mean, it's only like 20 usually, but like $12 for this incredible game. Like, I don't know. I saw some wild shit go down with this game, so you got to have a controller to play it. I can't imagine playing it with WASD. So that's what's happening right now, right this second in my mind. I'm drinking a black energy drink, which says American Dream Tour on it.
Is that in reference to any sort of actual event that occurred, or is it just sort of like in general?
I think you can get a tour, 6-something tour of the US, 6-day tour of the USA. I think you can win.
It's worth noting that this is an energy drink that you purchased in Poland. So
yeah, usually it's the energy drink of Mike Tyson, and usually Mike Tyson's face is on it. But there's some girls on it with seriously photoshopped butts. There also is I swear to God, there is an energy drink that's meant for sex, and it's called Black Sex. No joke. Right in giant letters, it just says SEX on the can. It's so ridiculous.
That sounds like
the marketing.
That sounds like some Polish shit to me.
I prefer the one with Tyson on it, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel that. I absolutely feel that. I would consider buying Rocket League, but I already blew my $20 gaming budget on Celeste, thanks to your goddamn ass last week.
Yeah, did you try it?
Yes, I did try it.
And?
I've been very busy this past week, so I haven't had as much time to play it as I would like. However, these are my initial impressions. One, you were right. The score is absolutely breathtaking. It's oh my god, it's bordering on orchestral, even though it's done mostly in like this sort of pseudo FM synthesis kind of style.
Yeah,
it's absolutely gorgeous. I'll tell you where I am. This is probably very embarrassing, but you know when you like when you start the very first stage and you get to that guy by the crash plane.
Yeah, Theo.
Yeah, right in the beginning. I'm a few boards past that, but I've already found my first cassette tape.
Oh, holy shit, nice. That's great.
And I am terrible at this game. I haven't figured out. I don't know if you can check the if you can check your death count like at points before you finish it, but I would, if I had to guess, I would say I must be at like 200 plus already.
Yeah, your death count is on the like your menu screen.
Oh, so shit. Okay, I should go look and check at some point.
I'm very curious.
Dude, I am fucking
Dude, the
terrible.
game is a brutal learning
but
curve,
I will tell you that
so nice.
You are 100% right in that it's extremely difficult, but it's not difficult in the way that makes you feel like you have no chance of ever getting better at it.
Right.
You know,
right.
Which is
totally
kind of the problem that I have with the first couple Dark Souls games, which are brilliant in their own right, but like no matter how much time you put in with them, especially if you're as terrible at them as I am, like even like the first 8 hours, I still at no point ever got a sense that I could get better at it. You know, so it was very
right.
It was very disheartening. Although Bloodborne, on the other hand, is the exact opposite way. When I first started playing Bloodborne, I was like, I'm completely fucked. I will never be better at playing this game. And then within like 5 hours, I had already made a few breakthroughs that gave me enough sort of encouragement to keep playing. So in that way, it's really, really great. I also like, we know that sort of 16-bit, 8-bit kind of retro-style graphics have been seeing a comeback, a resurgence as of late, and in no game is it better justified than Celeste, I will say that.
Yeah,
They do so much with so few pixels, it's just fucking inspiring. And I also love the way that they overlay actual full HD lighting effects over it. I mean, again, it's like a simple technique, but it's executed so fucking well. God, it's so goddamn impressive.
It's seamless. It's seamless the way they blend like the modern and the old. Because you first look at it, you're like, oh, this is so old school. But as you play it, you realize that it's like hyper modern, just presented in a very simplistic, minimal. Everything is so minimalist.
Yeah,
but there's so much depth to it.
I think the best retro throwback sort of style games are the ones that pull that off, like you just said. So that's really fucking cool. Dude, the music, I just got to mention it again, it's so good that you know how like when you pause it, it brings the overall volume of the music down, you know, by like 3/4 of the total decibel level it was at before. But it still keeps playing in the background. Dude, I have left that game on the pause menu for like 10 straight hours, just enjoying the ambience of the music. It is
the soundtrack. The soundtrack is spectacular, and it really only gets better and better to the point where like there will be things that happen, and like when you're playing through it, like a song will erupt, and then once you clear this area, the score will like be playing like last tendrils of what you finished, like reminding you of what you've just surpassed, while you still hearing like little fragments of the song while you continue moving on. It's the way they use the music is so good. The person who wrote the score is fucking brilliant. It's so good.
I totally agreed. It's absolutely incredible. So that's what I've been trying to get into. Right before we started this call, I was trying to play Star Trek Online, which is, dude, I mean, you know how much of a Star Trek fan I am, so I was just thinking the fact that I haven't put more effort into playing that game is kind of embarrassing. But, dude, I spent probably 15 minutes just looking at the exterior of my ship like in orbit of a space dock because I couldn't figure out how to warp anywhere or go anywhere. It was very frustrating. I wanted to put a little more time with it, but I couldn't figure out even how to get to a quest objective. So
sounds shitty as fuck, like most MMOs.
Exactly. So I don't know.
Why do people even bother making MMOs?
That's something that I don't understand even to this day. Like World of Warcraft
is the MMO.
They did it. They did it. You can't do an MMO better than World of Warcraft.
Even remotely as popular? Does any other MMO even have 1 million subscribers?
Final Fantasy XIV is very
of course.
Close. Final Fantasy XIV is good. Fabulous. It's fucking great.
Good.
I have my problems with it,
good.
But it is probably gotten the closest. I'll also give honorable mentions to the Elder Scrolls Online.
You hated that shit. Don't act like it's good.
It's good compared to its competition, which maybe is a bad metric to measure anything play it? By. Apparently, yeah. Enough people play it so that it's one of the few MMOs that's not free to play. So, take from that what you will. Other honorable mentions, I just installed Guild Wars 2 recently, and I was impressed with it for the first 20 minutes, but then as soon as the intro sequence went away, and I finished it, and I realized I had no fucking idea where to go or what to do. I mean, to be fair, I only spent like 20 minutes with it, but in those 20 minutes, I was so confounded by the lack of direction or hand-holding in it that, like, I completely gave up. So, maybe I'll check it out again.
What game is this?
Guild Wars 2.
Oh, God. Yeah. Jesus. Ugh. I remember I played the shit out of that when it first came out, and it was free to play online.
Yeah, it's still free to
somehow
play.
I got a copy of it. I don't think I bought it.
It's still free to play, but the main point is this, that any MMO that's even kind of good is only kind of good in so much as they are directly copying World of Warcraft, right? So if that being the case, I still don't see why there's a need for any MMO other than World of Warcraft. If the best MMOs that aren't World of Warcraft are only good because of how much they bite World of Warcraft. So
right.
I mean, you could probably make the same argument for WoW when it first came out as compared to EverQuest, but fuck EverQuest, and that's not what we're talking about, so who cares?
No, although I did play the shit out of EverQuest when it first came out.
I can't believe you played EverQuest. Didn't you play RuneScape too? I remember you...
No, I never played RuneScape.
Ragnarok. You played Ragnarok.
I played Ultima Online for a little bit, and I really just couldn't get into it because it was so far in the game's life cycle that I would get griefed every moment I would go anywhere. Then I moved on to EverQuest when it still was in vanilla. Before I played EverQuest through the first X-Pack, I want to say all the way up to when the second X-Pack came out. So I was in the cut, dude.
Jesus.
And then I quit, and then I guess it was probably 2 or 3 years later I got deep into Ragnarok.
Yeah, okay, so I was right. So I got
so
you did play Ragnarok for a little while too. Okay.
I mean, Ragnarok was a beautiful 2D, hyper-broken Korean, like, hand-drawn art, pixelated JRPG. It was sick. I mean, it was broken as hell, and you had to, I mean, the only servers that were actually playable, which I didn't find out until years later, were like fan servers, because the level progression was so unbelievably slow that you would have to, I mean, the grinding was ridiculous. So you'd have to go to other level servers where you didn't have to go through such stupid grinding. But man, that game was good. Some of the spell effects, enemies.
You know what game it reminded me of? Tales of Eternia Online. Do you remember when we were trying to play that shit?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They did release an online for that, didn't
It lasted
they?
like 5 minutes, and I don't think we
right.
ever were able to figure out how to go through like the account creation process. But we did put a little time in to try to figure that out.
I forgot that even existed.
Yeah.
What a great idea.
Seriously, what a great idea.
Sort of. Like,
sort of.
Random battles in an MMO doesn't really work. Like...
I'll tell you where they did have the right idea was trying to do more with the Tales of Eternia IP. I don't know if you've seen any of the Tales games recently, but I mean, some of them have been okay, but dude, I'll tell you, every single time a new Tales game comes out, I try to play it. If for no other reason than because I adored Eternia and Tales of Destiny and Tales of Fantasia so much. Those 3 games are some of my favorite JRPGs ever. So whenever a new Tales game comes out, I try to play it. And I don't think I've ever been able to put more than 5 or 6 hours into one before I lose interest. The Tales of Berseria is the one I'm trying right now. And it's so cool, but at the same time, oh god, it's just awful. But, yeah, and you haven't played any of the recent ones, I'm sure. The last one you probably played was Tales of Symphonia when I got it for GameCube, right? That was probably the last time I played
a little of that. I mean, it's okay.
All right, so enough of that. I just want to really quick, let's just get into some news items from the past week. The first thing that I want to mention, just because we kind of have to mention it, God of War 4 is apparently like the second coming of Christ in video games.
Is this the one they're just calling God of War?
Oh, God, I don't know, but that really sounds like the kind of shit that they would do in 2018.
I'm pretty sure that it's just called God of War.
Yeah, well, either way, everybody seems to fucking love it, even, like, people who are known for being very harsh and honest critics, like Jim Sterling. He's singing its fucking praises. I haven't played it just because, just third-person action game, I just don't care. I'm sorry. Like, apparently it's really good, but if you're a third-person action game, I'm sorry.
It all feels the
same.
No, it all feels the same.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the graphics are really nice. Yeah, apparently it's very meme-worthy, the way Kratos calls his son boy all the time. Apparently that's very funny. I can't be fucked. I'm sorry. I don't care.
Yeah.
On this topic, I'm assuming that you feel similarly.
What, about third person?
No, just action? God of War 4. Like, you're just you have a complete lack of interest in it, is what I'm assuming.
Oh, dude, I am Jack's complete lack of interest.
Well said.
It's like, don't even care slightly. Last time I played a game of that nature that I enjoyed, it was one of the Uncharted games where you put it in my hand and you were like, play this. And I beat one of them in like a day. And then moved on to the next one. It still was really... You maybe play whichever one starts with a fucking train falling off a cliff and you gotta climb up that thing.
That's Uncharted 2. Fantastic.
Yeah, and the combat is absolute garbage. Like, they totally were like, at the last minute, like, oh, fuck, we forgot to do the combat. Okay, well, let's just get it together. We got one night. Like, it's so bad. But the game in general is so well executed that I remember really, really enjoying it. I mean, it's all just like... basically playing an FMV where it's just like, here, go here. I don't remember feeling like there was a ton of skill involved.
I mean, other than the combat sequences, which are
terrible.
Yeah, for the most part, they're terrible. I mean, I would say Uncharted 4, that, like, they were, at least the controls for them was competent. But yeah, for the most part, all the Uncharted games are basically like just playing through an MMV and clicking buttons to initiate QuickTime events and shit. But
oh god, I hate QuickTime events.
Yeah, but in Resident Evil 4, anybody?
Oh god, so much garbage.
Mash the A button and the C nubbin in order to not get hit by this thing. Oh, you just spent 20 minutes trying to get to the end of this boss battle and you didn't hit the A button fast enough? Do it all over. So the Uncharted games are pretty much just glorified 2018 modern versions of Mad Dog McCree.
Oh my god, fuck you. Ground Zero, Texas.
Yeah, but the difference being that when Uncharted games are good, they still, despite that, manage to be really fucking good. So
yeah, no, they're pretty and they're cool and they
So
they got
there's
sugar
that.
and spice and everything nice. They're nice games. I mean, for Naughty Dog, coming from the people who gave you Crash fucking Bandicoot, which was Crash 1, Crash 3, good games.
I didn't know
I
didn't know that a Bandicoot was something that actually existed until very
Yeah, it
recently.
totally does. Yeah, no, it's a real fucking thing. Bandicoot's real as fuck. Pretty sure it's like one of those Australian critters that you never would see unless you're in the outback. eating a bloomin' onion.
That's a good point. I'm sure you're right about that, actually. Another thing this past week that I wanted to get into, or at least just mention. Dude. Nintendo Labo.
What? Did you just have a stroke? Are you okay?
Dude. Nintendo Labo. Go Google that this very instant if you don't know what it is. This came out.
Labia. Got it.
This came out very recently. Okay, and I'll tell you that when I saw the reveal trailer for this, I did basically have a stroke because I couldn't comprehend who Nintendo was targeting with this.
What is this? I see a keyboard, so I'm very interested.
Yeah.
All right, hold up. Let me watch the trailer for this motherfucker real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, make, play, discover, Nintendo.
Yeah, exactly. Like Nintendo, like really,
right,
you guys are still doing this
on this thing? What's the price point on this thing?
Oh God, it's not objectively, it's not a lot of money, but for what it is a lot of money.
So, all right, so you pull a bunch of cardboard out, and then what? Is he making a gun or?
Not with the Nintendo thing.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell this is. It's also crushing my internet. Who is your daddy and what does he do? Okay, so they made a piano out of cardboard. All right. Well, when I thought it was like a piano, let's build this with string. Okay, so I have not seen any video games. I just see some people playing with cardboard.
Yeah, very well said. And there you have it, guys. That's our review of Nintendo Labo.
Okay.
I don't see any video games. I just see people playing with cardboard.
What, this dude put a little backpack on?
You heard it here first.
Okay, so he's a fighting robot and he's punching stuff with the backpack. But a fishing game where... What? Why would you do this? All right, the piano thing. This is so.
This is great. A live fucking Nintendo Labo Bobby Bow reacts.
All right, yeah, nope. Final review. This is fucking so stupid. These people, Engadget, Nintendo Labo review, a labor of love. So here's some neat and clever creations people have made. So can you make your own stuff?
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing is that there's pre-made kits that Nintendo sells, like the robot or the piano. But the way that the system of it works is that you can make like a lot of things. You can make almost anything that you want. Well, not almost anything you want.
And how can you program the games to work with it?
I don't think so. Alright, so like I'm looking at like 13 via Kotaku, 13 cool things people have built with the Nintendo Labo. And then like here's the Labo playing an incredibly dope cover of one of the Squid Sisters songs from the first Splatoon. So it's like sort of like some sort of music making situation. And then this guy made a cool game where you throw cards at a hat and your Switch counts how many made it in.
So like you can make games. It has some kind of game
here's another one.
programmer.
This Twitter user made a face for their stuffed animal and then made the thing like control it. And like here's the Toy-Con garage to this to the fan chants for Idolmaster, and then they followed up by making up like Donkey Kong Jungle Beat complete with bongo controllers. That's interesting. I mean, like, I understand how this could be, like, a neat thing for kids, but, like, man, Nintendo, just, like,
I was gonna say
where are
the
you
same
coming
thing.
from, guys? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, okay, so somebody put Scotch tape over some toilet paper rolls and stuck a Joy-Con onto it, and they're like, I made a bongo game. It's like, Jesus, dude. I mean, okay, like, all right. Like, it's very creative, I suppose, but like,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah,
fucking
sure, it's creative.
Then again, what the fuck do I know? Because I was reading Nintendo sales numbers, and Switch has massively outsold Wii U already. Everything Switch is blowing Wii U away. It's like, oh, cool. I made a Game & Watch game. It's like, all right. I mean, I guess I'm not just like that kind of tinkerer type. Like, I'm the type of person who really wishes that I gave a fuck about things like Raspberry Pi, but I totally don't.
Yeah, I'm actually, I could not agree with you more. I really wish that I could be. I really wish I could be fucked to mess with something like a Raspberry Pi. It looks really cool. I'm trying, but I don't. I'm totally.
No, I'm just like, what the fuck ever? Like, who cares? Like,
yeah.
How about you make something with Raspberry Pi and then give it to me? Like, yeah, exactly. Oh, cool. You have like a special emulator. Just like make it and then sell it back to me. I don't care.
Or how about I just download something that does the same thing from the internet that someone else already made?
Right?
I mean,
seriously,
do we really need to go through this? I mean, come on.
Oh my god, it's exhausting.
But speaking of the Switch's success, that's another thing that I wanted to touch on. Nintendo today reported its earnings for the 2017 fiscal year. So a whole bunch.
I know, I saw. It's fucking crazy.
It's insane. For the system itself, this is by Kotaku again, the Switch has now sold almost 18 million units, which is 4 million more than the total Wii U sold in its entire lifetime.
How long has Switch been out now?
I think.
When did it drop?
I feel like it dropped November of last year. No, it was March of last year.
What? It came out in 2017?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. Because I played Zelda on that motherfucker.
Okay, so it came out in early last year, and so in less than a year and a half, it's outsold the Wii U, which has been out for what? 6 years?
At least, yeah.
5? Holy shit, has Wii U really been out that long?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dude, we were playing Wii U in, like, 2012.
No, because we got Wii U when we were living in the house. Because that's totally when Wii U came. That has to be when it came out. At the very least, you were already living in the house.
Yeah, but it had been out for a while at that point.
Oh, shit. Maybe you're right.
November 18th, 2012 is when the Wii U came out.
Oh, my God. So it's 5.5 years old, and in less than a year and a half, Switch has outsold it. Man, I hope that teaches
4 times over.
A big fucking lesson, dude. I hope they learn a really tough lesson.
Well,
naughty Nintendo.
I mean,
naughty.
They've learned some lessons, but not all of them, clearly, because we have things like the Labo, which is, in my opinion, again, like, I'm not knocking the fact that it is admittedly cool for parents to give their kids and all that kind of stuff. I see it. I get it. It's, it's creative, whatever, golf clap, very nice, Nintendo, fine. But correct me if I'm wrong, but it's still right in that same vein of the goddamn Wii waggle motion controls.
It is.
Right? It's still just...
Fuck that.
It's more creative. It's admittedly more interesting, I think. But it's still just a little gimmick. It's a silly gimmick. It's the same shit. So... And let's not forget the Switch reveal presentation where they spent 20 minutes talking about the HD rumble in the Joy-Cons, which also, surprise, surprise, are motion controllers.
Dude, oh my god, it was so, like
bad.
When my buddy first showed me Doom, he had the fucking motion control on, and I was like, this is really, I was like, you have to tell me right now that this is not like a requirement. And he was like, no. And I actually did see how in some ways, like for a little better accuracy, you could learn to use it. But I mean, I never ever would. It's like, ugh. So yeah, I mean, they want to like, hey, let's find new ways to play. Hey, but what's the price point on Nintendo Labia?
Honestly, I think it's like $80.
I mean, that's reasonable versus what I expected.
It's reasonable, but at the same time, it's not reasonable at all.
Wait, so except what did you get with it? Do you get Joy-Cons with it, or do you just get?
I think it's cardboard and a cartridge. Oh, it's $70.
Serious?
The variety kit is $70. The robot kit is $80.
All this is in fucking Polish. I don't. I can't figure
You
out.
stupid
Can't
bastard.
make heads or tails of it. Accessoria. Okay, it's 249 zloty. Great.
Yeah, great. What the fuck
Fucking
is that in
crazy.
goddamn English?
It's like a hoji. I don't know, man. It's like so, but that's the thing. Like, look at these sales numbers. They learned their fucking lesson with Wii U. They learned certainly from the fact that the marketing was so poor that they. And I mean, Reggie has spoken to this. First
Yeah,
of all,
that's true.
the fact
That's
that they gave it the name to make it sound. Nobody could understand that it was for either. Is it the same system and it's an upgrade, or is the gamepad like a controller for the Wii, or is the gamepad the system? Which I think is part of the reason that they spend so much money and time in the marketing to show the system is the controller. Like, you can use this anywhere. The system, the screen is the system. That's it. There's nothing else. You can dock it, but you can take it. It's not like Wii U where it's just the gamepad. I mean, of course, Wii U had that for some games, like I played Wind Waker almost entirely on that gamepad. It was
Yeah, but
freaking
that's
amazing.
only because our house was so small that you could take the gamepad to almost any room and it would still be in range of the Wii U.
Go more than like 20, 30 feet from it
If that.
without it totally shitting the bed.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, Wii U just I thought Wii U had some cool games. I thought Wii U had
It
some cool stuff.
absolutely did. It absolutely
It
had a lot of
did.
cool games. I mean, to say
Like,
nothing of the
any
fact that, dude,
exclusives?
Breath of the Wild is on fucking Wii U.
Yeah, but it's also on Switch.
Yeah,
so,
I'm just saying. No, the point being that there are good games to play on that system.
Yeah, but how many Wii U exclusives are there that are good?
Like
and Wind
six.
Waker HD
Like six,
doesn't.
maybe.
Wind Waker HD doesn't.
No,
count.
it does not.
Even though Wind Waker HD is the definitive edition of Wind Waker to the point where it's essentially a different game, but it's not a different game. It's a game that's already been made. So they could fix so much. It looks a million times better. They put the super speed boat in it, which is incredible. But with all that said, can you name one? I know there's at least one Wii U game that's like totally sweet. Oh my god, that's so sad.
Well, no, I thought of one. New Super Mario Brothers U.
Mario.
Which, I realized this recently, that not many people like that game. That game is regarded genuinely in rather poorly.
Well, which
I think is only proof that in
Mario
general people are
3D
fucking
World.
stupid, because I had so much fucking fun with that game. No, we played both. We played the original New Super Mario Brothers, which was on Wii, where we could play it 4-player simultaneous and shit, and we would just like kill each other.
Destroy people, yeah.
It was,
But then New Super Mario Brothers Wii U, was that the same game or
no, it was a different game, but the same concept.
And was
4-player
3D
simultaneous
World-
side-scrolling, yeah, and it was a whole new world and shit.
Was Mario 3D World a completely different game?
Yes, it was.
mean,
That's a Wii U game too. Mario 3D World. That game was fucking phenomenal. And
game was crazy good.
Unlike New Super Mario Brothers U, which a lot of people don't really love that much, everyone, I'm pretty sure, loves 3D World. And if they don't, they're fucking morons, because it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's so good.
So, all right, so Super Mario 3D World right there. That's a great game.
So we have two Mario games, one of which is a
Mario
redo
Kart
of
8,
a game
dude.
that's
Mario
been out
Kart
for
8.
3DS.
Mario Kart 8. Phenomenal.
Mario Kart 8 is non-exclusive.
Yeah, but it wasn't exclusive until the Switch came out.
Okay, yeah, fine. All right, so we have...
Yeah, so the only system you could play that game on for the majority of its life was Wii U. That's a Wii U game. Mario Kart 8 is a Wii U game.
But now we've talked about one game that was already out on DS and Switch, two games that are Mario games, and three games that are Mario games if you count that one is a Mario Kart game. Are there any games that don't feature Mario?
I wanted to say Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, but no, that's a regular Wii game.
That's really sad.
And
really
you
blew
know
it.
what? And even Skyward Sword is a Wii Motion Plus game.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Nintendo, you're so depressing.
I mean, they put Mass Effect 3 on there and like some Assassin's Creed game, which we actually were into kind of for a while. I still have a copy of it downstairs.
Yeah, I played Black Flag. I played it a bit, but then it bored the shit out of me. I played it for like a couple hours, really excited because you got it for like $20.
No, it wasn't Black Flag. It was the one that took place in like American Revolution times.
Oh, it wasn't the pirate one. It was the one before the pirate one.
Yeah, but either way, it doesn't matter. We played it for a total of 10 hours, maybe, before we completely forgot about it. Oh, dude, no, there was, I was gonna say, like, Xenoblade Chronicles or whatever, X. Xenoblade Chronicles X, some ridiculous garbage. But I really like that game. There's one that, in that series that people were very disappointed by. I don't think it was that, though. Hold on. Xenoblade Chronicles was Xenoblade Chronicles was for the Wii, and that was very, very good. And Xenoblade Chronicles X was for the Wii U. I really like.
So it's the same thing.
No, I think Xenoblade Chronicles X is the second in the series.
It's a sequel?
I think so.
That's...
In either case, I don't think that really counts either way.
No, it doesn't. I mean, we're just hearing a lot of garbage.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of garbage, because at the time I was like, this is cool. I could play fucking Super Metroid in a handheld. Of course, it was almost impossible to pull off any of the... I thought the gamepad was real good, and I like that it's sturdier than having Joy-Cons attached to the screen, because they've got that stupid little give, which is a real problem for me when you're doing anything intense. But it was nice to play Super Metroid on a portable, and fucking Wind Waker, super cool. Like, other than that, like, ugh, what a waste. However, I mean, Switch, on the other hand, has so many games, third party or otherwise, you know. Also, I mean, really, the whole indie game thing blew the fuck up since 2012. Like, blew the fuck up.
That's
you know
100%. That's 100% true. And I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I would be willing to bet that next to things like Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, it is indie games that are doing for the Switch. What Nintendo they should have done for the Wii U, I don't know, but I think that's really a huge factor in its success. Is like you said, the huge explosion of indie game popularity, and the fact that, dude, there's some indie games that are selling better on the Switch than on any other platform. That's huge.
It's not surprising. I mean,
that's
the rub
huge for
is
Nintendo.
that you can take it, and when you think about certain games, so many of these indie games like Darkest Dungeon and Celeste, are games that are going to perform the same on every system.
Exactly.
So Wii U has the advantage of you can take that shit with you. You can't do that with anything else. Take it with you in your hand, not a laptop, in your hand.
And if you have an option,
full controls.
If you have an option to buy a game at the same price point for any system that you want, it stands to reason that if you have the option, you're going to fucking choose to get it on the system that you can also take with you anywhere you fucking go. I mean, why would you not choose that? Especially if it's going to perform the exact same. Like, sure, people who are really crazy about graphics and stuff like that, I get that maybe that you'll get a game like Doom for PC over the Switch because you can run it in 4K at 60 frames per second. And sure, I mean, that's a big plus. But, you know, especially indie games, it would be foolish to get them anywhere. But look, you can take Doom in your fucking hand, dude. Taking Doom in your hand is still cool. Of course it is. Of course it is.
There's certainly a lot to be said for that.
Oh, there's an incredible amount to be said for that. But I'm saying specifically in the area of indie games where they're going to perform the same anywhere. Why would you not get them on the system that also doubles as a portable system? I mean, in that regard, the Switch is absolutely fucking brilliant. It's insane. And it's probably partially due to the success of indie games on that platform that is making other AAA publishers think twice about porting their games to it, which is why we're seeing shit like Wolfenstein 2 and Doom on the Switch. I mean, and also they just announced Dark Souls Remastered on the Switch. That's fucking huge. There was a point that I was legitimately concerned that we would never see another Nintendo console that had AAA titles on it, other than Nintendo, of course. You know?
Oh yeah,
I really thought that was a possibility.
Of course, let's not. In terms of naming, I might be really stretching things here, but let's not forget that a switch is also the term of someone who will switch between the top and bottom roles of a game relationship.
Of course, I mean, it also could be
switch.
Yeah,
then that's. I mean, maybe I'm digging too deep, but. I mean,
well, you and a lot of other people then would be digging.
When I hear switch, that's kind of what I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I don't know what that says about me. But.
Let's not go into that. But that's some kind of good point. There are, I would say the majority of people, even right now, still don't know that the Wii U is a separate system from the Wii.
Yeah, even now. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Like, they release it in white at launch? Only in white?
Yeah, it was in white
and black at launch?
No, it was only in white.
So they release it in the same color with almost the same name.
Oh, you're talking. Sorry, I'm fucking stupid. You're talking about the Wii U. No, the Wii U was black when it first came out. Maybe black and white.
Okay. Are you sure it was black when it came out? Which one did you have? You had it in black.
No, because we had the
Zelda one?
Yeah, we had the Zelda one that had that stupid gold in like painting and stuff around the edge of the gamepad. So fucking stupid.
Fucking stupid Nintendo. So fucking dumb, fucking stupid ass Reggie. Reggie Fils.
Black apparently is 32 gigabytes. Whereas the white was even smaller. Like, that's another thing. Can we just mention that for a second? That Nintendo's brand new system, the Switch, has the same amount of internal memory that launched in 2017, in that foul year of our Lord, 2017, had 32 gigabytes of internal storage. The same amount that the console that they launched in 2012 had. 6 years. No upgrade in internal storage.
I mean, I will say it's cool that it uses micro SD, right?
I'm not sure. Micro SD, same fucking thing. Whatever. It's still.
I'm pretty sure.
The fact is still that you have to spend extra money, and to their credit, like, yeah, we all know why it's only 32 gigs because they had to keep the price point below $300. Sure, I get it. Makes sense. Whatever. But at the same time, 2017, 32 gigs. Like, my fucking iPhone 4 from 2010 has the same amount of internal storage. Like, get the fuck out of here. And that's a phone.
2010 iPhone.
Like, fuck you. 32 gigabytes? Get the fuck out. Like, that's just ridiculous.
Well,
but I mean, sure, there are about to be 1 terabyte SD cards or whatever that you can put in there, but like, really? That's what I gotta do? I gotta spend $200 on an SD or on an SD card that has a terabyte of fucking space in it if I want to install more than 2 games?
Dude, a terabyte micro SD is like 50. Whoa, no. Oh shit, bro, nah. Oh no, the highest they have I think is 512. And it's got like a little, I don't know. What does it cost?
Yeah,
probably
but a terabyte.
$250.
Yeah, exactly. And terabytes aren't out yet, but they will be soon. But still, even for 512, $250. Like, god damn it! I bought a terabyte hard drive for my PC, and it cost me $40. Fuck you.
That's terrible.
Yeah. It's really terrible. So, I mean, and you know what's even worse is I remember before the Wii U came out, people were like, I don't know about this. I don't know. And I remember very passionately defending Nintendo at that point, being like, dude, look how great the Wii did. You really think they're gonna fuck up with the next thing? Y'all hated on the Wii, and now look at yourselves. You may feel pretty fucking stupid. Obviously, the Wii U is gonna be fucking great. And so I was definitely wrong about that. And I mean, to be honest, I was worried about the Switch too. Like, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I was one of the same people that was saying, why can't Nintendo just release a goddamn console that's on the same hardware level, technologically speaking, as Sony and Microsoft? Just do that and then put Nintendo games on it, and that's a win. And while I still feel like that would have worked, I mean, would it have worked as well as the Switch has turned out to work? I don't know.
I don't know. And also, like, why introduce a third clone onto the market? Another, like, what's the difference between PS4 and 360? Seriously.
Other than the fact that it's not named 360, it's the Xbox One.
Yeah,
like,
right?
Let's just a side note to say fuck you, Microsoft. Like, the Xbox, and then the Xbox 360, then the Xbox One, then the Xbox One S, and now the Xbox One X. Like...
Wait, is that
really?
a different system?
Who the fuck is in charge of your goddamn marketing department?
What is Xbox One? I just want to turn 360 degrees and walk away. Is the Xbox One X a different system, or is it like the PS4 Pro?
So
Wait, is it a different system or what?
it is what I think people are currently now referring to as the mid-generation refresh.
What the fuck does that mean, dude? Come on. What does that mean?
As if you needed any more evidence that it was completely fucking absurd. The mid-gen refresh, dude. So, it's the same thing as the PS4 Pro, which I don't know if you're aware of this. The PS4 Pro outputs in 4K and can sometimes make games look a little bit better.
And it costs a shitload?
Yes, it costs like $500 fucking dollars. And keep in mind, it plays the same games as the PS4. It doesn't play any games that the PS4 can't play. They all play the same. But if you want to look if you want some games to look a little bit better, then spend like $600 fucking dollars and get a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X. And like, of God, there's been so many horror stories of Xbox One X owners like running games that are supposed to be running in 4K on the only dedicated 4K gaming machine, and they're running it like 30 frames a second and not in complete 4K either. It's so fucking embarrassing. So
like, they're embarrassing in their own way, and I would hate if Nintendo knows they can't just join those ranks because they don't. Like, why would they do that? Instead of getting third parties to build these multi-million-dollar games, they let other people do it and then port them and use that as it's like, hey, look, we've got Mario, we've also got Doom. It's like, so someone's buying that shit for Mario, and they're like, well, fuck, I'll buy Doom also. Why not? It's on this thing. I don't care if it doesn't look as good. I've got it and it's portable. Like, they know how to get you in the door.
I mean, apparently,
dude.
I still,
it's
even
incredible.
though I was excited when they first unveiled the Switch, I was still not sure how it was going to do when they dropped it.
No, but it's doing really well. They know what to do. Listen, the ladies here still, after like 2 weeks, are like, oh, I really wish we could be playing Puyo Tetris. And I'm like, yeah, I know you do. That's a free fucking demo. And it only works because it was the system with 2 controllers and the 2 Joy-Cons that come with the system. That's 4-player chaos in a free game that was massively addictive. And I can't consider another experience quite like that. First of all, who owns 4 360 controllers or whatever? I can see buying 2 controllers. Oh, it was, okay, Homeboy had 2 extra Joy-Cons, so 4 Joy-Cons total, and 1 Pro Controller. And even just with the 4 Joy-Cons, it could have been done. But one person was using a controller with the Joy-Cons attached, one was using the Pro Controller, and 2 people were using Joy-Cons.
Lots of
and sometimes I was like, yo, give me the fucking Joy-Con. I'm about to house all y'all with the Joy-Con. I don't even care.
I don't even care.
I'll use the Joy-Con. I don't even give a fuck. I won't even look at the screen. I'll house you. Tetris. And I mean, yeah, the drunker I get, the more of a sore winner I am, where I don't even get excited. Like, yeah, I'm just like, obviously, like, all right, goodbye. Bye.
Yeah, you're
right.
a lot of fun.
Have a seat. Yeah, I'm the best. I'm great at this. Why did you even bother playing? Like, yeah, no, oh, I want to play Puyo. I want to play Puyo.
I'm not even sure what your point is anymore.
Oh, I don't know that I'm a sore winner. I'm a much better loser than I am a winner. I lose with grace, but I certainly don't win with grace.
I would definitely second that.
I just really know how to push people's buttons.
In other numbers news, Mario Kart 8, remember we were talking about that Mario Kart 8 was originally a Wii U game. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is what they put out on a Switch, which had like 2 extra tracks and some other stupid garbage in it, has sold 9.22 million copies, which outsells the number sold on the Wii U of the regular Mario Kart 8, which was only 8.42 million.
Also spectacular on Switch.
That's really fucking impressive. Mario Kart 8 came out in May of 2014, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has been out for less than a year.
And it's outsold the other one?
Yeah, by almost 1 million copies.
How is that possible? It's because so many of the systems have sold.
Yeah.
So many more people own the system.
Yeah, dude, Mario Odyssey, which is the best-selling Switch game currently, at 10.41 million copies. That means that 58% of Switches, of people who bought a Switch, also have Mario Odyssey. Almost 60%.
I kind of regret that I didn't even take 5 minutes to boot that up and try it.
You fucking asshole.
Dude, I just was like, Mario really, like, I don't have that kind of faith in it. Although I never played Galaxy 2. I really loved Galaxy 1. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I didn't really fuck with the Galaxy games that much, which is kind of...
I loved it. That was in, like,
bad thing to say about.
2008, though. So, like, my tastes were not where they are now, where I wouldn't say they're more refined, but I have way less tolerance.
Say that.
No, it's just that I have less tolerance. I used to play games that I, like, enjoyed, but in retrospect, I'm like, there's nothing to be enjoyed here. Whereas now, like, I immediately know, like, this is a great game that can hold my attention. Or I'm just like, nope, I'd rather be watching Netflix. I like, my options are such now. There was no Netflix back then. I didn't have a choice. If I wanted to watch Friends, I couldn't just go, I'm going to watch Friends. It was like, I want to watch Friends. If I want, I can, like, go on Amazon and order the DVDs, and for like $100, they'll be here in a few days, or torrent them and sit at my fucking CRT monitor and watch them.
Yeah.
Like, it was dark days, man. Dark days.
Wow, and Breath of the Wild is now the best-selling Zelda game of all time.
That is insanity. I don't know how it's possible that has outsold things like 1 and Link to the Past. I mean, is it really possible that what if you combined all iterations of Link to the Past across all releases, which would be SNES, Game Boy Advance, and at least 1 virtual console?
I mean, I don't have those numbers available, but...
Well, get those fucking numbers, Gordon Gekko. I want to fucking hear that shit.
The previous best-selling Zelda was Twilight Princess.
How is that possible?
I have no idea. That game was such a pile of shit.
Maybe I need to give it another shot because I barely got through the intro. Then again, I was playing it on Wii.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't
deal with it.
Dude, I got that game with my Wii that I got on launch day, the day that it came out. And I waited in line outside a Target in motherfucking Chicago, out like at the Target off Elston. And I waited there with my girlfriend at the time.
Target.
And it was raining and sleeting, and I was standing out there like an asshole, wrapped in a fucking blanket. I waited in line. I got that fucking thing. I popped a fistful of Adderall, went home, fired up fucking Zelda Twilight Princess. Inside of 20 minutes, I was downstairs working in the studio and had forgotten all about it.
That is so fucking tragic. I just remember booting it up and having to waggle the controller around and being like, this is so shitty.
Dude, as soon as I had to waggle the controller and then realized that the game was like, all right, now you're a wolf. Run around and get 18 of these little glowing things before you can keep playing the game. I was like, fuck you. Fuck you.
I never got far enough.
Turned it off.
I don't know anything about the game other than you're a wolf, waggle the controller. Maybe on GameCube it's better. From my impressions,
that's the whole game. There is no more to the game than that.
Such a dumb concept. And then, I mean, Skyward Sword, I never even touched because I was like, when I first saw the videos, I was like, all right, cool. So you're actually using this controller like a sword. And then I was like, but I don't want to do that.
That's the whole point, right? And I didn't play it either for a long time until the price of a Wii Motion Plus was down to like $6. At which point I could justify buying one.
And did you finish it?
No, absolutely not. I didn't even come close. You're like up in the clouds with some really big, bizarre bird
creature
with an enormous, sneaky beak. The whole thing looks like someone in like furry cosplay. It's like really distressing. And I played it for a little while. I played it for a couple hours. But again, to be fair though, if I could play that on a virtual console with just a goddamn controller, I probably would have beaten it. But the fact that, like, in order to play it, you gotta fire up your Wii. Then you gotta get the stupid goddamn sensor bar positioned somewhere. And, and you have to run that fucking ridiculous 15-foot cable all around your living room. Get the sensor bar set up. Then you gotta plug in the Wii Motion Plus, which is this tiny little dongle thing. So if you lost it, well, guess what? You're fucked. And then after you do that, you gotta make sure you have AA batteries lying around in order to use fucking Wiimote. And keep in mind, you can't even turn the system on and use the menu without the sensor bar, the fucking Wiimote, and some goddamn AA batteries. All right, like
the sensor bar. I forgot about the sensor bar.
Like,
I really want to snap one of those things over my knee.
There's oh god, it's so ridiculous. So the fact is that if you don't have any single one of those above mentioned components, you can't even play the game. And I'll tell you, the first time that I went to go pick up go pick the game back up and continue where I left off, the first time I tried to do that and the stupid AA batteries were dead in the fucking Wiimote, guess what? That was the last time I tried to play it ever.
Yeah, no, forget it. No,
yeah, I'm sorry.
Wii was when it came out. I mean, there cannot be enough said about Wii Sports and specifically Wii Sports Bowling. That was possibly the most brilliant pack-in of all time, other than maybe Super Mario
Their
Brothers.
original gamble with the Wii system was genius. Create a control method that is instantly understandable and accessible by anyone, no matter what their experience with video games. And then, in order to show that off, throw in some generic sports title that anyone can take one look at and immediately understand how to play it. And as a result, now their potential audience for the system is not just the amount of people that are hardcore gamers on the planet, but fucking everyone on the planet that owns a television, right? And it worked out brilliantly. It was an amazing fucking strategy. But what the thing that they didn't consider is that once that hardware has once the gimmick of it has worn off, who are you left with? Fucking nobody. You think you're gonna sell grandma the next version of that system? You think any gimmick, no matter how brilliant, is good enough to hold the attention of non-gamers for more than one system's life cycle? No fucking chance.
Not a chance. No, I mean, it was brilliant. And also the Mii creation that was so heavily featured that had never really, I mean, character creation had been something that we'd been dealing with for a long time, but many, many people had never even touched the idea of character creation. And the Mii creator was actually ridiculously deep. Like, there was all
so
that, like,
good. I have no, dude, Nintendo must have been using some, black magic, sorcerers to create whatever they fucking did to make the Mii Maker. Because it was so unbelievably and deceptively simple, but when you sat down to be like, I'm gonna make a Mii of this guy, holy shit, you could make it look exactly like that guy with 6 lines on a face. I have no idea how they did it. Dude, the one that I made of myself from back then still looks like me. It's incredible.
Yeah, it was really, really pretty amazing. So you do that, and then you go in and you do the bowling. And, I mean, that bowling was so satisfying, so competitive. Like, I could play that for hours. People would come over, and we'd be howling and yelling. And it was definitely one other thing is that bowling video games really kind of suck. And that one was awesome.
Is there one that's good? I don't.
They all
other than
suck.
Wii Bowling.
I mean,
No.
the fact that game you had to release the button just like you'd release the ball, and you could twist your wrist to give it a fucking curve.
Yeah.
So it really functioned a lot like actual bowling.
Yeah, there were some skills that actually were transferable. The same with like
Which was
hitting, playing Wii Tennis or something like that, Not only did it instantly make sense and the control method was accessible, but if you had any experience doing those activities in real life, some of your knowledge was transferable. And that was, it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, I got in fist fights with people over fucking Wii Tennis, right?
I remember the golf being really, really dope too.
I don't think I ever played the golf, but
I'm pretty sure the golf was awesome, but bowling was the superstar.
Yeah, it was so. I don't think anyone would dispute that for its time, what they did, that was absolutely brilliant.
But there was no longevity to it. Like, how do you? They had some crazy fantasy that was going to magically turn non-gamers into gamers. Like, well, yes, insofar as that non-gamers are now playing a game. But if you really think that grandma is going to go out and buy... Remember, what was that stupid launch title called where you had to use a sword, but the controls were so fucking awful? It was a first-person shooter.
Red Steel.
Oh, God.
I bought it like a fucking moron.
God, that game was it was unplayable. Nintendo was releasing games and touting them as their next shit that were literally unplayable.
Yeah, literally unplayable. You could not play that game. To their credit, though, when the Wii Motion Plus came out, they put out Red Steel 2, and of course, I never would play it, but I have heard that game was actually successful in like what they tried to do with it. So, great. But let's say, scratch that. Let's say that they included the functionality of the Wii Motion Plus in the original stock Wiimote. I still don't think that would have changed fucking anything.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The Wii Motion Plus wasn't it was too little too late. It would have still been too little in the beginning, and it wouldn't have sold any more systems because nobody gave a shit. As far as Grandma was concerned, you might as well have been throwing a real bowling ball. Grandma was like, oh, the controls aren't precise enough.
No.
Like,
the point is,
don't give a fuck.
It was a gimmick. It was nothing but a gimmick. Did it work out well? It absolutely did. But that doesn't change the fact that in the end, it was a fucking gimmick. And that's... there's tons of data to support the fact that that's completely accurate. To say nothing of the fact that, like, the sheer amount of shovelware generated by the Wii, I don't think is matched on any other platform throughout human history. Like, it was unprecedented, the amount of shovelware that was put out for that shit. And shit, as a result, you can't blame developers either. That system supported putting out shovelware. It made the numbers, it made sense. And sure, I will say though that were some games that were genuinely better with the Wii motion controls. Not many, not many, but there were some. I will name two. I will name two.
I defy you.
I will name two. Resident Evil 4.
Okay, all right. All right, let's take a pause. Let's take a pause. Okay, when I first played RE4 on Wii, I completely agreed. I thought it was way better. I played it all the way to the end. I beat all the Mercenaries missions. I got whatever that crazy Tommy gun was. I slaughtered it, and I was like, this is the definitive version. A few years later when I played it, it hurt my wrist, and I fucking hated it.
Oh shit! Yeah. As soon as you started saying that, I was like, "Oh fuck, he's got me here."
Dude, it hurt my wrist because I felt like I was bending my wrist. If you put your arm in front of you, like you're shooting a gun, the default position always felt like I was bending my wrist downward to be holding it like and shooting it.
Just holding your arm out the whole time that you're playing a video game is not fun for anybody, no matter what you're fucking doing with it.
No, I enjoyed it. The first time I thought it was super rad, but I think I was just younger and more willing to tolerate mediocrity. And I thought it was very cool. The aiming was really, really good. However, when I went back years later, the fact that it was hurting my wrist, I shouldn't have any other pain in a video game other than your classic stupid hand pain.
Yeah,
and cramps from playing for fucking hours.
I would even be willing to say that might be part of the reason that VR has not taken off the way that people have been expecting it to. Because, like, I'm sorry, the best way, until you come up with technology that puts me in a holodeck from Star Trek The Next Generation, that might accidentally create a character that takes over the ship, like fucking Moriarty or some shit. Unless you create that kind of shit, there is no other way to play a video game than either with a mouse and keyboard or a controller. That's it. That's the only way to play a fucking video game. I'm sorry. There really is no other. Yeah, okay, I got these crazy VR controls for fucking Oculus or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, is that better than using a controller? I challenge you to prove me wrong.
I can't speak to that because the last time I played Oculus or any VR was Oculus DK2, which was, from what I understand, very, very primitive compared to where VR is today.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about the headsets. The headsets are brilliant, even when we have that
control mechanism. As a control mechanism, I think that in theory, being able to manipulate your hands in the VR space seems much more immersive to me than attempting to use a mouse and keyboard and sit somewhere. And the games need to be tailored to that, just like the Wii tailored the games to the controller, except VR is its own different system, which has much more appeal in a very different way. If it's good, I really can't say if it's good, because Oculus DK2, while absolutely spectacular when it nailed things right, ultimately just kind of made me nauseous. Even though it worked amazingly, I couldn't stomach it.
Yeah, at the most, I think I was able to play Half-Life 2, like a hacked together patch of it that ran on it. I could play that for like 45 minutes. I have a very
good.
I have a very strong stomach for that shit, and not a lot of stuff makes me sick to my stomach or nauseous. Few things do. And even I could not even manage it for an hour before I was like,
yeah. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. But that's why, oh my God, the Half-Life, I can only imagine how good it is now. I really, really want to know what VR is like now.
Apparently, Resident Evil 7 is fantastic on it. Fantastic. But my point remains that I'm not going to want to be waving my fucking arms around while sitting or standing somewhere while playing a video game. I'm sorry, I don't want to do that. It's not fun. It's antithetical to like the entire way that we've been brought up to enjoy video games. And I'm not saying that can't change. I'm not saying that people shouldn't attempt to innovate. They absolutely should. Try to push the technology as far as you can fucking get it. That's fine. I'm saying that as of right now, there is still not a better way to interact with a video game than a controller or a mouse and keyboard.
Absolutely. Oh, 100%. 100% agreed. Absolutely.
And anything that tries to change that while still using the same technology that was in a Wii motion controller, that's in the Joy-Cons, that's even in those weird circular-looking controllers that come with the Oculus or the stupid PlayStation Move controllers. I'm sorry. Any attempts to change video game control methods that use the same technology as those things that I just mentioned is gonna be shit. I'm sorry. It's, I applaud you for trying, but the technology is just... It's just not.
It's still basically the same as it has been for the last 30 plus years.
Yeah, it's a goddamn infrared depth sensors and fucking gyroscopes. Okay, that's all it is. And until you come up with something a little better, like a holodeck on the fucking Enterprise, I don't think it's gonna happen. It's still gonna be just what the Wii was when it first came out, a fucking well-polished gimmick.
Right. They need to make games. Still, no matter what, it's still going to be gimmicky. It could be a really, really sweet gimmick, but it still is going to be a gimmick.
Exactly. It could be a really fucking cool gimmick. Dude, I was momentarily fooled by the Wii when it first came out. It was a cool gimmick. Good fucking job. Well done. Awesome. Dude, we were fooled by the Oculus. We had the first dev kit for it, right? The DK1? I think it was.
DK2.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. But either way, we paid $300. We signed the fuck up for that shit.
What happened to that thing? Do you still have that?
Yeah, of course. I still have it. Still works. I
wonder if that thing's going to be worth a fucking fortune someday.
The way Oculus is going right now, I'm thinking probably not.
Why? Is Oculus like a far distant last in the market now when they used to be the leader?
I don't have the current numbers or info to say definitively either way. I can just tell you how it feels to me as someone who inhabits this sort of space. I hear people talking about PlayStation VR. I hear people talking about the Samsung Gear or what is that? The Vive, I guess. You know, I hear people talking about that shit. You know what I don't hear people talking about that much? Fucking Oculus. I don't hear people talking about it that much. I mean, like, sure, they put it out and, like, you know, it works, but it's not, apparently, this is what I hear, apparently it's not as good or cheap as other options. And, like, let's be honest, if I'm gonna deal with some fucking VR shit, especially in the state that it is now, I want it to be as plug and play as fucking possible. I don't want to be, you know, hacking together 9 different wires and plugging them into USB ports and Thunderbolt ports and, you know, all this garbage all over my computer, and then updating some fucking drivers, and then trying to make sure the game that I'm playing has the correct patch to fucking support it, and then run the configuration software and blah, blah, fucking blah. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I want it to be plug and play. And right now, one of the only things that really offers that is PSVR. And if I was going to get some sort of VR shit now, it would be PSVR. Simply because it just comes in the box, you plug it into your PlayStation, you turn the game on. And, I mean, that's how I feel about it anyway.
It's very, very interesting. I mean, I'm really curious. I'd really like to try it at some point because I really enjoyed some of the experiences. Like, whatever that game was, I think it was called Don't Let Go, where you had to hold down 2 keys. That is again, super gimmicky, but it was a great use of the platform. No VR sickness. Remember that game where you're sitting in an office desk chair and you had to hold 2 buttons and scary shit would happen to you and you had to not let go while the scary shit happened. And it was like fucking knives flying at you, and a velociraptor walked in the door, and there were like bees swarming at you, and at the very end it was like look up and a spider falls in your face.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fun.
It was fun. I still remember watching people scream and like really enjoy themselves, and I was like, this is what VR is all about.
That's an interesting point, and I don't think that experience has been replicated anywhere else. And I also, dude, I think a lot of people forget this, but it's possible for a new technology to only be a gimmick. You know, not everything needs to be this paradigm shifting shit. Yeah, it doesn't need to be, and not everything.
It doesn't need to be compared to. I compare any VR game to a full-fledged game because I read about these like scary VR games and I'm sure they're fucking terrifying. But I'm also very confident that if you put them on a console, it would be ridiculous compared to something with the depth of Resident Evil 7, for example. I mean, of course, you're saying Resident Evil 7 can be played in VR, but these VR games are designed for the VR experience where they know how immersed you are. They know the limited controls where it's just like, here's just you in a flashlight in a haunted mansion. Like, go. You know, move around, get scared. And that's when this thing about VR is it does manage to trick your brain. It tricks your brain into thinking that you're fucking there. Like, really, you are forced to suspend disbelief, and it's not a normal system. It's, again, VR is way more like an experience than a game. You're doing it for the experience and the thrill when it your body in a different way rather than like, yo, I'm gonna sit down and grind this RPG for hours. I don't really see the possibility of like a VR. I mean, I don't know, maybe, but then again, I can't really speak to that since I haven't tried these VR things where you're like walking around a room. I mean, how far can you go? You can walk like 5 feet in any direction, and then what?
Well, and I think that you just actually hit on the matter at the core of the whole thing, is that VR is an experience. It's not a fucking game.
Right.
There's a difference. And in order for the experience of VR to get better, you need the technology that is providing the experience needs to be and get better. Mm-hmm. Specifically, the controls, right? Because as long as the controls are limited to some stupid thing you gotta hold in your hand, whether it's a gyroscope and with the depth sensor like a PlayStation Move controller or whatever, or an actual controller, regardless of what it is, as long as the only way to interact with that VR experience is some stupid gimmick toy thing that you hold in your hand, it's not going to get any more advanced. And
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think that what we need to do is get to some Black Mirror level which is not unrealistic, where you're like really tapping into things like your optic nerve, whatever part of your brain creates dreaming and shit like that.
That's exactly
and
what I said.
Tricking your brain into thinking you're really there.
Yeah, like I said, until it gets to the level where he has something like a fucking Enterprise holodeck, it's not going to get much fucking further, because it's still just an experience. It's not a game. Like, you don't play something in VR to grind out levels, like you said, on a JRPG. That's a great example. You don't play VR to do that. You play VR to experience something. And right. I think the design intentions behind any game that is going to be played on that sort of platform needs to keep that in mind, right? Because I think the mistake that people are making is that you can't just take a video game and plug it into VR. Because VR isn't just a different screen to display a game on. It's a whole different system of interacting, and it's intended to be an experience and not a fucking game. And until they can get closer to merging the two, I think it's still ultimately going to be kind of gimmicky and kind of shite.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. I certainly want to try it, but I'm just like,
exactly.
I'm over this way.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, how excited can you get about something that is, by definition, just a fleeting experience and not
right? It's super exciting, but like, even though, it's like, oh my god, that was such an awesome 15 minutes. Like,
15 minutes.
And now what?
Yeah, exactly.
And now what? Like, now what?
Do I want to have an awesome 15-minute experience, or do I want to play a rewarding, JRPG for 50+ hours?
Right.
I mean, at least for me, the choice there is clear. I'd much rather be sitting comfortable somewhere with a controller, playing a fucking game. Or rather, I mean, maybe a better way of saying it is that the two things are not the same. It's not, like, if I sit down and play a game, I want to play a game. Of something that you do in VR is not the same thing. It's not a game in the same sense.
Right. No, it's not. You're 100% right. It's not a game in the same sense. It's an experience. And people conflate the two because they're similar, but they're not the same.
Yeah, and I think that every VR quote-unquote game that has seen any amount of success are ones that understand that. Oh my god, this fucking...
I hear that good.
Yeah, this THC oil vape pen is fucking... It's annihilating me. I have one of those things where you can adjust the voltage, and I have it cranked all the way up to maximum.
That's awesome.
God, it's so fucking good. Jesus, you must miss that in fucking Poland, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I do. I've managed to. I'm essentially like weaned off of it. It's an incredibly rare experience.
That's terrible to hear. I hate hearing that.
It's pretty fucking crazy. But yeah, so okay, so fuck gimmicks. I mean, that's really the bottom line. Is Nintendo couldn't be the first ones to do the modern controller, but they were the first ones to do it right. Do you know who did it before them? I'm talking about D-pad and buttons.
Again, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Nintendo is responsible for inventing the D-pad, the thumbstick, shoulder buttons, and rumble. I think they claim.
Well, I think they claim they can
claim to have invented all of those things.
Shoulder buttons and rumble, there's no question about that. I think they also did the analog stick.
Yeah, the thumbstick.
Yeah.
The thumbstick was invented by Nintendo and first seen in a N64 controller. I'm almost
confused
positive.
The shit out of me. And I was looking back recently because I was like, I was looking back and I looked at like a history of Nintendo controllers, and I was like, they have always been weird. It's just that Nintendo and Super Nintendo were still pretty normal, but they went completely off the fucking rails after that. I mean, N64 with that controller that looked like a freaking bird.
Dude, it had three... I don't know what you would call those, like hand grips. It had three hand grips. Human beings only have two hands. Like,
I know.
What the fuck were they thinking?
And like very, very few games use the D-pad.
Yeah. Oh,
the only one I could think of is Mystic Makers.
Oh yeah, very few games. Okay, the precursor to the modern D-pad appeared in Entex's short-lived select-a-game cartridge-based handheld system. That's the precursor to it, right? Okay. Similar directional buttons were also used in the Atari Game Brain, which was the unreleased precursor to the 2600, and on some early dedicated game consoles such as the Video Master Star chess game.
Oh, what?
Okay.
That sounds dope.
All right. Cosmic Hunter on Milton Bradley's Microvision also had something similar to a D-pad, and that was in 81, right? However, Nintendo's Cross design was developed in 1982 by none other than Gunpei Yokoi.
Wow.
For their Donkey Kong handheld game.
Man, that motherfucker. Rest in peace, baby.
Yeah, no fucking shit. Rest in peace to that goddamn genius. That dude was awesome.
Man, that dude did it so big. I'm pretty sure Super Metroid was his brainchild. That he was one of the people from R&D 2 who was in charge of that game. He was certainly, obviously, he made the Game Boy. He was in charge of
That's what
so
he
much
is known
stuff.
most for, right? Isn't it, right? Creating the Game Boy?
Yeah, dude, Miyamoto was his protege, if I'm not mistaken. Like, Miyamoto was assigned to him to work on his next project, and then he was like, yo, I've got fucking Jumpman.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, yo, call this motherfucker Mario, better can find the princess, and we got Donkey Kong, baby. And, like, the rest is history. I'm pretty sure, dude, Yokoi is, like, the unsung hero of Nintendo that no one knows about. Because everyone's off sucking Shiggy's dick all the time. Like, don't get me wrong, he's great. He's like, oh, yeah, I used to climb around in caves as a kid. What? I like bugs. Like, what the fuck? What is wrong with you? You fucking weirdo. Oh, yeah, I was climbing around in these caves in Japan, in the mountains. And then I came up with Zelda. Like, motherfucker, where were your parents? Like, what are you doing in a cave? I don't want anything to do with a cave. Are you kidding? Nothing good is in a cave. Nothing. Have you seen The Descent? God damn.
Oh my god, yeah. That game, or that fucking movie is fantastic. I think we watched that together during the time when we were sort of obsessed with found footage movies.
Yeah. I think we popped that bad boy in, and it was like a nice welcome respite from all the trash we've been watching.
Oh my god, it was. What was the one that we found that was actually really good that surprised the shit out of us? Do you remember?
All right. First, Grave Encounters 1.
Grave Encounters, yes, that's what it was.
Great. Also, Rec, the Spanish Rec was really good.
Yes, Rec as in REC. Yeah, record.
Yes, that was really good. But Grave Encounters was the one where we were just like, this is spectacular.
Yeah,
Grave
it was
Encounters
spectacular.
blew me
it
away.
was so fucking good. Holy shit,
Yeah,
I forgot about
it blew me away. Yeah, that was really good. Did we watch The Gallows together, or was that after we moved out? Because The Gallows is pretty good, too.
No, I don't think
I think that came out later. Yeah, Gallows is pretty good. That came out later, but that's also pretty good. Yeah, so...
Oh, hold on. Before we move on from that, I just want... If you have not watched The Ritual on Netflix, you must watch it.
Oh, I haven't. Is it found footage?
No, but it has the same kind of feel. It's not filmed in a found footage way, but it has the same kind of feel. And it's about these dudes who are...
is it free? Or, I mean, is it scary?
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah.
Tell me.
It's about these guys who go up hiking in, I think, the woods in Norway in order to pay homage to their friend of theirs who died, like, within, like, the last year or something. So they all get together to go on a dude's trip up to the fucking mountains and go hiking and shit. And so, of course, one thing leads to another. They end up getting lost in the woods, and then horrors ensue. And it is fucking phenomenal.
Okay, awesome. I've seen it on Netflix, and I've been like,
this isn't just like, I personally think this is great. I'm telling you that you, in particular, will fucking love it.
Oh, awesome. All right, cool, great.
Now,
I was like, I don't want people always asking me about The Ritual.
I was thinking the same thing as well, but it was actually Jules that saw it and came downstairs. And
my God.
Dude, you need to watch this. And then he sat there
Julie,
with me while I watched it, and he watched it for a second time. That's how good it was, and I was like, holy fuck. It's fantastic.
Wow. That's a great review. All right, cool. You totally sold me.
Good. I'm still looking at analog thumbsticks, however. I'm pretty sure that, I think the thumb-operated control stick was a digital stick. actually, on the N64 controller. But that has reminded me, do you remember the Saturn 3D control pad, which was released with Nights into Dreams?
Into Nights into Dreams.
God,
yes, I do, and I owned one.
Yeah, dude, I owned one too.
I owned not in its prime. I owned one. I remember when I went through that period of time when I was completely and utterly obsessed with Saturn, and I had a CD binder full of Saturn games.
Yeah, I played
obsessed with Saturn.
I played what was that? Albert Odyssey. I got fucking Albert Odyssey.
Oh my god, Saturn. Yeah! I played you had a real copy of that.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, absolutely, including the manual too. Fucking phenomenal. But
yes,
I think around that same time, dude, I had a Saturn that I would carry around in a backpack. So we could play it wherever we ended up that night. God, Nights into Dreams. Holy shit, I was so obsessed with that game. And they put out really Christmas Nights too. Oh god, it was so weird. How you would just go around on this like pseudo 3D like sort of course that would just wrap in like concentric circles around the stage. It was very bizarre. So fucking cool though. Great fucking work by Sonic Team. And they made us, I think it was for Wii that they finally made a sequel to, and it was just
They did,
garbage.
I'm pretty sure it tanked.
I think it was garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, I don't know if I played Nights today, I'd probably
Journey of Dreams.
What's it called?
Journey of Dreams.
That's so dumb. I feel like if I played Nights today, I'd be like, this totally
it's
sucks.
Pice, dude, it's Pice.
Dude, I bet,
God, it holds an aggregate score of
garbage.
69% on Metacritic.
What, Nights 1 or Nights 2?
No, Nights Journey of Dreams. God,
but what does Nights into Dreams have? I bet it's not great.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
It didn't age well.
Let's see. Let's find out. I want to find out.
You know what's really sad? I have never played Panzer Dragoon Saga.
Oh. Oh, God. You know what? I've never fucking played it either. I've never fucking played it out. I don't give a shit about that stupid game.
Dude, apparently that's considered to be like the best Saturn game of all time. It's Panzer Dragoon, but it's like a turn-based RPG.
I'm very familiar with it. I've never played it.
Panzer Dragoon.
Oh,
what's up with the Japanese obsession with dragoons?
I don't know. It's very bizarre. Wait, hold on.
And it fell off.
Dude, I'm looking at Nights into Dreams for PlayStation 3, released in October of 2012.
What?
What? What? Dude,
first of all, why would I want to play that?
The Sega Saturn 3D Classic returns with HD graphics. What? And an optional original Saturn mode.
Graphics.
What?
And wait, an optional what?
And an optional original Saturn mode.
Oh, well, that's what I care about. Is
what the
optional original garbage? Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Still looks. Oh, it has all the Christmas Nights content too.
How did I not know about this? Isn't it this? It's the same fucking game, but it's just in HD, right?
Yeah, and it has the original Saturn version. How did I not know this? It's $10.
It's $10 fucking dollars. What?
$10. Wow, that's pretty weird. It's pretty strange. It's very odd, very weird stuff. Weird stuff,
dude. Man, oh, dude, I'm looking at the trailer, dude. It's so cool. Man, this game was fucking dope. God, the music was fucking amazing.
What the fuck is wrong with Steam? There's an error communicating with the Steam servers. Please try again later. I'm just trying to spend my fucking money. You assholes.
God, Steam is such pice.
Dude, Steam is rad. I fuck with Steam. Yeah. I fuck with Steam, dude. I fuck with Steam. The fact that I could just download Steam and instantly these games that I have purchased like 7 years ago, I could just download on.
I mean, I have a Steam account. I still log into it, and like I see all these fucking games that I've gotten. You know, I have all the Half-Life games on that motherfucker. Oh my god! Speaking of fucking Half-Life, son, dude, what do you know about about Black Mesa?
What, the Source remake of?
Yes.
Or is it the fan remake?
Dude,
Source fan remake.
It is
That's
now
been out for ages though.
They're still working on it, and it's in early access on Steam. And I loved it so much, I paid $20 for it. It's phenomenal.
It's Half-Life
phenomenal.
Again. It's Half-Life again, bro. How many times can I play this fucking game,
I did not
dude?
play it that many times on PC originally. I mean, that's not really a that's not really an answer, I guess, but
wait, I played it a shitload of times on PC.
Oh,
so many times.
Oh, you did, yes, but I did not. I was too busy playing Quake and Duke Nukem 3D when that shit came out. I took one look at it and I was like, it doesn't have strippers in it or Lovecraftian monsters, so I'll pass.
Yeah, it does kind of have some pseudo. I mean, not Lovecraftian, but it's got its scary moments, which you can tell because they ramped it up with "We Don't Go to Ravenholm," where it really shows how scary the game actually is. Yeah, this creature that comes up from the. All right, it's not Lovecraftian, but
no, it's not.
It's great
dude,
sci-fi.
I'm not saying there's not really fucking rad shit in Half-Life and Half-Life 2. There absolutely is. Only an insane person would argue otherwise.
No. Is there a trailer? Is there a trailer for this motherfucker right here? Let me watch.
For Black Mesa?
Watch some gameplay.
There's gotta be. Oh god, it's so good. It's so fucking well done.
Let me pop a little gameplay.
Oh hey, dude, this just in. Bill Cosby declared guilty on all counts.
Yeah, I just saw that pop up on my phone. That's hold on, there's always room.
Oh my god.
Hello.
I had no idea what you were doing there for the first second or two.
You know what goes really good with Jello is a Quaaludes.
That is the worst impression of Bill Cosby.
It's really
I've ever
bad.
heard.
Oh no. It's really bad.
Oh my god. Bill Cosby was found guilty Thursday on all counts of aggravated indecent assault.
He's 80 years old and he could probably.
God.
I mean, he's Bill Cosby, so I don't know if his attorney's so good that he'll get him like a reduced sentence or.
Oh god,
like,
dude, listen, this decision capped years of women coming forward to say that Cosby invited them to meet up with him for mentoring, then drugged them to the point of unconsciousness, and then proceeded to perform sex acts on their limp bodies. God,
so horrifying.
My god, that's so vile.
Like, seriously, to anybody listening, like, don't be Bill Cosby.
Yes, please, don't seriously
be
don't
Bill
be
Cosby. Like, don't your way into really bad decisions. Please.
Oh my god.
Like, if as long as we're broaching this topic, let's
just take a moment to say don't fucking do that.
Seriously, go hit yourself in the head with a hammer and beat off into a sock. Leave that poor woman alone. Okay?
Jesus Christ.
Like, there's a sock. Go nut in a shoebox for 3 weeks straight for all I care. But leave.
At least then the only person you're hurting is yourself.
Leave the Quaaludes in your pocket where they belong.
Stay away from those poor
Eat them yourself.
Women. Oh my god.
Eat the Quaaludes and stay home.
I don't think you can get Quaaludes anymore.
Absolutely not. That thing is like they are so long gone because I did a little homework when The Wolf of Wall Street came out because I was like, what the hell?
Where can I find some of these fucking things?
Yeah, those things are they just don't exist anymore.
Well, I mean, I think that you can achieve pretty much the same effect by popping like 6 bars of Xanax at once.
I really couldn't tell you. It's that Matrix it tastes like chicken thing. It's like, sure, like you can say it tastes like chicken, but like, what if this is just what they think this is what she tastes like? Don't taste like chicken. Oh shit! Alien Isolation, $10.
Oh my god, I still have not gotten all the way through that game, and I hate myself as a result, because it's so fucking cool. It's so good.
Is it?
Have you seen any, like, footage of it or anything? Like, dude, they go to such lengths to recreate the original aesthetic of the first Alien movie that there's, like, there's artificial, like, VHS tape distortion and interference and shit, like in the intro and like on the screens and stuff. There's like CRTs and scan lines in it. Man, that's a great name for a podcast right there. CRTs and scan lines, bitch.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Wait, so it's
phenomenal.
On sale for $10, down from $40.
Oh my god, buy it! I have it for $360. Buy it, and I actually have it for PC too.
I mean, I feel like I'm starting to think. I was always like, oh, these people who are so dumb, who have such big Steam libraries they never play. I'm starting to think that like. They have the right idea because this normally costs $40 and one day I want to play it. You know what an idiot I'll feel like if I was like, I could have gotten this for the cost of like a McDonald's meal and an Uber.
It seems likely. It seems likely.
I wish this trailer would show me a little gameplay. So you haven't played any of it?
Of what?
You haven't played any of Alien Isolation?
No, I played like the first 3 hours of it. And it's phenomenal.
So I see Sega and I get concerned. So sad. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. I mean, I don't know. I also
that's very sad.
Really
that's very sad. That's very poignant and totally accurate and true and justified. But it's still very sad. I feel the same way. I see Sega and I become concerned immediately. Like, oh god, fuck, what the hell is this new garbage? Is this like another Sonic game where Sonic has a gun and like an evil clone or some
DLC
garbage? Huh?
Alien Isolation Collection is Alien Isolation with all the DLC, it looks like, for $12.49.
Oh my god. Jeez, that's such a good fucking deal.
I feel like I'd be a psycho to not buy that, right?
I would say that. I would concur.
I mean, is this X-Pack? All right, here's an X-Pack. Oh shit, here's a thing where you could play Ripley, Dallas, or Parker. Here's... I don't know what this is.
Unless it's more to the original story, I'm already immediately not interested in DLC for pretty much any game. Like,
salvage mode.
Ooh, get the DLC and we'll, give you a pack of all these weapons and things that will completely break the entire game. Oh, that's a lot of fun. Or here, get this DLC where you can wear some ridiculous fucking costume that destroys the aesthetic and mood of the whole fucking game. All right, that's fucking great too.
Well, I mean, if the game is $10 and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 DLCs plus the Derp season pass, which I think means you get all the rest of the... Oh, shit, user reviews on the season pass mostly negative. Isn't season pass mean you get all the DLC for the rest of...
Yes, but the problem with that is that DLC, 90% of the time, and I don't give a fuck what game you're talking about, DLC, 90% of the time, is useless garbage.
I mean, this is like here. This one is an X pack. It's these are different. They're maps for survivor mode, which is time-based challenges. So I mean, I don't know. If we're talking $3.40 or $3.50 more for all these extra maps. $12.49.
Well, see, like that's
all
actual
this
additional stuff to play, especially if you're going to play that mode. That's fine, right? And there's been some DLC for, oh god, I've been playing Shadow Warrior 2 on PC a lot. Yes, and it is.
Are you serious?
Yes, it is a sequel to the series that coined the term "Who Wants Some Wang?" And Shadow Warrior 2 is fucking awesome. It's so fun. The mission-based gameplay is brilliant. The controls are second only to like Titanfall 2 and how the fucking how the engine feels and how powerful you feel moving around and how much control it seems like you have over everything.
Who wants some wang?
Dude, who wants some fucking wang, dude? It's phenomenal. And to its credit, that game has a lot of DLC that does nothing but just give you more fucking missions. And it's awesome. So this DLC like that, sure, that's great. But still, the majority of the time, DLC is always useless pice, and I don't want anything to do with it.
Right.
Ooh, have you heard this, dude? People finally rooted the fucking Switch.
Which means what?
Jailbreak, bitch.
It's jailbroken?
Yep.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah. I don't think there's a lot of, I don't think there's much homebrew shit out for it yet, but apparently the exploit that they found and released cannot be patched because it's based on a hardware exploit and not a software exploit. So,
really?
So no matter what updates to the Switch OS you install, it doesn't matter. The jailbreak will always work. Shit, I gotta get on this shit. I gotta jailbreak my motherfucking Switch. Dude, I have a jailbroken Wii and Wii U, and I fucking love them. Not to play pirated games on, but so I can, like, dude, you have any idea how cool it is that I can launch a SNES emulator on my fucking Wii U. That's so awesome. Dude, I have my Wii hacked so that I can play Quake on it. That shit is just really fucking cool. That's really, really fucking cool. I mean, especially because, like, I have, got hundreds of Super Nintendo games, probably, but, I mean, how many times have I moved in, like, the last 10, 15 years? I can't even keep track. Am I gonna lug, like, bins worth of fucking Super Nintendo carts around all over the country? Fuck no. But I will, keep a directory of a whole bunch of fucking SNES ROMs and shit, and being able to play them, like, on a screen or on your TV instead of being, like, tied to a, to your PC at a desk or something.
Well, they look much better. They look much better.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God,
so much
this
better.
is so fucking cool. The
I'm
relevant
buying this
vulnerability...
shit just to have it.
What?
I'm buying this shit just so I have it.
What, Alien Isolation?
Yeah, I'm buying it.
Oh my God! Yes, hooray!
Dude, I'm seriously, I'm slowly but surely building up a small collection here, and I haven't bought games on Steam since I bought Portal, which I bought. Let me tell you when I bought Portal, real quick, and then I want you to continue with what you were saying. Oh, I
already forgot what I was saying. I'm too high.
You were reading a description of something. I bought Portal on what? Can I not even figure out what okay, I think I bought Half-Life on Steam April 12th, 2004. And that was like the whole Half-Life like giant collection. But Portal, I guess I got Portal for free at some point because it never says purchased.
I think there was a deal where you got it free with like with Half-Life 2 or some shit, because I have a copy of Portal on my Steam account as well, and I know that I never bought
dude,
it.
I think there was a Portal free weekend where it was like, download it now and it's free.
Ooh, you might be right about that.
I think so, bro.
Oh, I do know why I have it for free. It's because I bought the orange box on 360. And at the time when you bought it on 360, you got Portal for PC too. I think, anyway. I smoke a lot of weed, so it's possible that what I just said is completely false.
Oh, shit. They should, since I bought Faster Than Light on my iPad, they really should just give it to me on Steam. It doesn't make sense.
I feel like that also.
Yeah, that's dumb. Did you ever play Subnautica after you bought that shit?
No, I am... Dude, oh God. My backlog of games that I need to play is positively shameful. I have Ni no Kuni 2. Remember the first Ni no Kuni? For PS3?
Yeah.
You remember how amazing it was? It seriously was like a Studio Ghibli.
I remember you thought it was amazing.
Fuck you.
I remember thinking that it was beautiful, but that I was just like, game didn't do anything for me. Don't get me wrong. I'm a diehard fucking Ghibli fan. I've got goddamn Totoro tattooed on my stupid arm, and still,
it is a stupid arm.
I was just like, I don't know, dude. JRPGs like that, I think I've fucking outgrown them, dude. I think I've outgrown them. I think I'm just like, I'm not into it except the super old school ones that will never get old. Like, for real, I mean, like, I could play all the way up to, like, FF10. I don't know how I'd feel about something like 15, but FF10, great game. But, like, if I tried to do something like that today that came out, like, I'm curious how I'd feel about something like I Am Setsuna.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point for a few reasons. One, have you played FF15 like at all?
Not for a moment.
I played all the way through on PS4.
You finished it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I played all the way through on PS4. And
dish.
There's actually a review that I wrote on our site.
I kind of remember that. Is it posted?
Yeah, it's up there, and it's in the review section.
Ladies and gentlemen, go to DEGREELESSNESS.com and go to the review section to read the review that this fool is about to spoil for me while I click purchase on Alien Isolation here. $13.27 for the game and all DLC. That's pretty good, brah.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely it's a fucking
all right.
Fantastic deal. So anyway,
I bought it.
So, this is I'll just to spoil the review completely. I open it with where I'm saying basically like I wanted to love that fucking game so much. I wanted to love it so much, dude. I mean, just long story short, you obviously are familiar, but I have been both of us have been a long time fucking fan of the Final Fantasy series. It's stumbled, it's fumbled, in a few places, but overall, I love that fucking series. I know you do too. And man, 13 was very, very bad. 13 was very bad.
With lightning?
Yes, it was, God. And then they doubled down on it and, like, made 13 too, and, like, oh, God. It was so bad. And while Final Fantasy 14 is cool, and I hear 11 was okay, I never played it, but let's be honest, they don't count. So let's just take those out of the conversation right now. I will say that Final Fantasy 12 I loved. It didn't feel like a Final Fantasy game. It felt like a weird MMO hybrid that somehow played on a PS2. Amazing fucking game. Brilliant game. The job system especially was so cool. And I love the remaster of it. But it didn't feel like a Final Fantasy game. So basically what I'm saying is the last Final Fantasy game that I really loved was Final Fantasy X. Like, I can still hear the hi-hat pattern in the battle music in my head, like, perfectly when I think about it. Like, that's exactly what it is.
That's it.
I hear
that's
that
exactly
shit. I don't know
it.
if it's like something with the track or how it was mixed, but like the hi-hats always seem so loud to me. I don't know why. But anyway, so the last one I really loved was Final Fantasy X, and I think you would probably agree, right? The last Final Fantasy game that you really, really loved was 10, right?
Oh, no question.
Right. So needless to say, my hopes for Final Fantasy 15 were about as high as they could possibly be for a game that I already knew was originally named FF13 Versus and then was scrapped and rebranded as FF15. So to say that I was going,
is that true?
Oh yeah, that dude, FF15 was in development total time for like over 10 years. It was insane. So to say that I was going into it with a little bit of trepidation but a lot of hope is probably an understatement. But so I wanted to fucking love it. And man, to quote the very last line of the review, I wanted to love it, but instead I only just kind of like it as a friend.
Oh man,
I give it a 7 out of 10.
That's not bad.
Which now, as I say that out loud right now, I'm thinking maybe a 6. I don't know. But the thing is that, God, it's the very fact that I'm not even sure if it's a 6 or a 7 should tell you something about how mediocre
really
it is.
Concerning.
Right? Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, at least 13, I'm like, oh yeah, I would give that game a 4. Like, no pause, it gets a fucking 4. Right? And like FF10, no problem. Immediately, I'd give that game a 9. Easy. No fucking problem.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, no
I seriously would take 1 point away for.
Yes, exactly. But and Waka at some points also. But
yeah, right. Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. Other than that, like, the good Final Fantasy games are clearly good. FF6 is a solid 10. No problem. FF7, I give FF7 personally. I give FF7 a 7. I understand why people like it, but it doesn't do it like that for me.
Oh my God.
I give it a 7.
I mean, I'm not even like in the stroke fest, and I easily would bump it up to an 8 just for like the materia battle system. However, I will say this. When I tried to play it last time in the PS4 edition ruined it for me because I think I told you this. With PS4 edition, if you click in one stick, it runs at 10x speed. If you click in the other stick, I believe you can eliminate encounters, and if you click in both sticks at once, you immediately fully heal your characters and give them all limit breaks.
What?
At any time, which basically ruins the game because why would I not do this?
Well, see, this is what I don't understand, right? Do they have so little faith in the gameplay design of that game that they have to right out of the box give you the ability to break it?
Like, if that were a feature you could get after completing it once, that would be fucking amazing.
That's a completely different thing. That's a completely different story.
Was to make it so they could sell it to people who have already played it, but were like, I don't want to slog through it again. But people like me, dude, I was finding myself accidentally clicking in the stick, and I'd suddenly have a limit break, and all my characters would be healed. So I'd be like, fuck it. And then I'd click in both sticks, and I'd turn off all encounters and just run to the next boss, and then just spam heal and limit breaks and get through it, just so I could tour the story, and it bored me.
Yeah, I mean, did they put that in there because they don't have faith in the longevity of the gameplay design, and they want to give everyone the ability to break it just to make sure that it will appeal to as many people as possible? Did they do that? Or is it a game that's over 20 years old by now, and who fucking cares?
Well, I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. It smacks of insecurity.
Okay. Yes, 100% agreed. Going after that, we get to FF8. FF8, I give that game a fucking 10.
Awesome.
I gave that game a fucking 10, bitch.
Remember,
FF8 fucking 10.
I played that for the first time on an iPad, and I used facts to break it by getting that the Diabolos card or whatever, or the Guardian was, or whatever the thing was that you could get. You had to farm T-Rexes to get whatever you could. Oh man, you had to fight the train or something, and then you get this thing where you could convert cards into whatever it was that you had to junction, so you could junction Quake to one of your swords.
And you would junction like 100 Quakes.
Strength.
You would junction like 100 Quakes, or 100 of other types of magic. To different...
Oh, you had to. I think you had to junction or you had to use this. You had to use this Guardian or whatever it was, on the T-Rexes that appeared as random spawns in the training facility, and turn them into Quake cards that you could then junction to your sword or something and get super strength. I think that was it. Whatever.
But the point is that is fucking great that you can do that, right? It's great that you can do that. If you really want to get that fucking hyper nerd on it and really break all the numbers, it takes some research and it takes some dedication, but you can fucking do it.
It takes work.
And
that's a lot different from clicking the joystick. You know, I had to really dedicate myself at the very start of that game.
I remember when you were doing that, dude. It took you days, maybe weeks, to set that whole thing up.
To set that up so that I could just coast through the rest of the game. And I didn't care that I was coasting through the rest of the game because I put in so much work in the beginning to make it happen.
Yeah,
a lot of work had to be done.
There's just a great thing. There's going to be people who are going to play the game just for the entertainment of it, and there are going to be people who are going to play the game to fucking beat the shit out of it. Right? And the fact that there are all those different ways of experiencing it built into there, I think that's great. People say, oh, junctioning 100 stacks of whatever spell to your magic or whatever, that breaks it. Yeah, it breaks it, but it's not like someone's going to accidentally do that. And then, oh, whoops, I ruined the game for myself. No.
No. Figure out how, if you don't want to break, it took a lot of work and a lot of research and a lot of, strategy and RNG to do that at the beginning. It's supposed to be end game content. Yeah. Being able to get that thing. Yeah, and doing it that early requires serious dedication.
Yeah, so, yeah, sure. Can you break the game if you're really dedicated? Sure. But you're not going to accidentally do that. So anyone who wants the original intended default experience of that game is going to fucking get it, right? So that's fucking awesome. So I love the fact that you start out basically in college, and you have this crush on this girl, and oh god, everything about FF8, including the weird gritty sandpaper PlayStation 1 fucking graphics.
It's awesome. It's gorgeous.
FF8 is my favorite Final Fantasy. I love it. So I'd give it a 10.
It's pretty good. I definitely think it's.
Would you give it a 10?
I mean,
would you give it a 10?
I would give FF8 a 10. I loved it so much, and I dealt with some bullshit because playing it on iPad, I had to work around things like the iPad. Yeah, dude, it would crash sometimes when you play an FMV, and sometimes you had to trick it into thinking you were changing discs. And this was on an iPad 2 on one of the first PlayStation emulators.
Were you playing it on RetroArch? I think you were playing it on RetroArch.
Yeah, I'm sure it was RetroArch.
Yeah. But it's still, you could still do it, and you fucking beat it. All playing it emulated using RetroArch on an iPad. That's fucking rad. Now,
dude, super rad.
Next, FF9. What do you give it?
I mean, I never finished FF9. I started playing it on the iPad, and I never continued it. But I thought it looked really pretty, and the music was good. I thought it got back to more of the fantasy roots, which I thought was nice. But I honestly haven't played enough of it to have any sort of opinion that I would consider valid.
Even though I don't like the SD sort of super deformed style, chibi style graphics, I'm not a huge fan of that. But the art style overall, especially, man, that was in the era of 2D pre-rendered backgrounds, and fucking God, I don't know. Looking back, I don't know if they were. I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, they still hold up. They hold up infinitely better than the, the 3D rendered backgrounds of older games. Like, dude, if you look back at the original version of RE1, it still doesn't look that bad. It looks amazing compared to other games of its generation, like Tomb Raider, right? Oh. So I think I would give FF9 an 8. I would give it an 8 because like the story was good and everything, but it really didn't like grab me the way a lot of the rest of them in the series did. But the whole rest of it, like the execution, the battle system, was all very, very fucking competently done. There's nothing that really. This is the thing about FF9 is there's nothing that fucking really stands out to me. Like thinking about that game now, I played it all the way through, but there's nothing that I can immediately think, oh my god, that fucking game, that part, holy shit. Right? There's nothing that that really does that for me. Like FF8, you get the fucking Ragnarok. Holy fucking shit. The first time you see Laguna, you're like, oh fucking shit. You know, the first time that you start flying around in Balaam Garden, right? Like, holy fuck. There's so many moments in that game that are just really, really powerful. The same way in FF7, especially in FF10, you know, the ha moment in FF10.
Ugh.
Like, yes, certainly that's fucking cringe, but it's also a great moment. You know, I mean, if you want to be a dick about it, like the time where fucking Tidus and Yuna kiss for the first time, you know, there's very many moments that are like they're very intense in a lot of those games, and I don't remember any of them from FF9, so that's why it gets an 8. I would give FF6 a solid 10, wouldn't you?
Of course.
Yes, of course.
No question. Are you kidding? Oh, dude.
Again, I mean, people still talk about the fucking opera event in that goddamn game, even now.
Dude, the opera event is amazing, even though it's like so silly.
It's so silly.
It's incredible. Are you kidding, dude? The opera scene is because the music is good. Dude, FF6 has so much to it. I mean, plus 2 super secret characters.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Super secret. You will never, ever, ever, ever play. You'll see Umaro peeking out of the caves in Narsha, but you will never know how to get him unless you figure out how to navigate him. I think maybe you need an item or something to lure Umaro when you find out where to get him. I don't remember specifically exactly how to find him in the caves, but there's something you have to do in the caves. I think you have to use an item or something. Maybe not. I do need to know this though. But Go-Go, if you recall, Go-Go, you have to go into the world of darkness. You have to fly to a very specific, I believe, the Triangle Island. You have to fight an enemy that's a giant worm whose name escapes me right now. Then that worm has to use its inhale ability on you and eat your party, and you have to navigate through this dungeon and find Go-Go inside this worm. Yeah. That is legit. Let me check. I just want to check Umaro real quick. Oh my god! And the score of FF6 is score of FF6 is really up there with Chrono Trigger. There's sometimes where I'm like FF6 is superior, but Chrono Trigger is better overall. Like if you take like average scores, Chrono Trigger's average is better, but FF6 has more songs, and I feel like there are more songs. When FF6 gets good, it's like shit. I don't know. Chrono Trigger's number 1. There's no doubt about that.
Hold on. Rate in order from best to not best. Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger, FF6. In terms of score.
Chrono Trigger, FF6, Secret of Mana. That's easy.
Holy shit.
Easy. Wow. Secret of Mana is really good, but there aren't tracks on Secret of Mana that make me seriously feel like I'm going to fucking cry. And there are tracks on FF6 and Chrono Trigger that have such impact. Dude, Coin Song from FF6, for the song that plays over the scene when Edgar and Sabin are determining, where they flip a coin to determine who's going to be king and who's going to run off into exile. Coin Song is the very light, quiet guitar version of the giant Figaro theme, which is so big and bombastic. And then they do it real quiet with this little guitar. Oh my god, it's so good. And I mean, Chrono Trigger, there's just so many songs that are just have so much power and impact and sets the scene. It's so fantastic. It feels like an adventure. And Chrono Trigger, oh god. I mean, don't get me wrong, Secret of Mana has some great fucking tunes, but it's way more in the like upbeat category. Secret of Mana does percussion better than any of them for sure.
Ooh,
Secret of Mana has tons
I would
of
agree
drums,
with that.
tons of percussion, which the other two do not have. The other two are really light on percussion.
The Thanatos boss theme, there's like death metal style double bass in those fucking double bass drum in those fucking songs.
Secret of Mana has drums all over the place, which the other two absolutely lack. And I think that's a really important distinguishing mark. But I feel like overall, also, I feel like the other two took, other than the drums, I feel like the other two took much better advantage of the Super Nintendo's sound chip. I think they really, really worked that sound chip for everything that it had and really did incredible things with it.
At first, I was aghast. But now after listening you say, like, defend your choices, like, man, I'm trying to think of a song in Secret of Mana that has as much emotional resonance as something like you said, Coin Song from fucking FF6, or like even the Zeal theme in Chrono Trigger, right? And like, I mean, certainly there's some tracks like the opening track and like the titular like sad song.
It's so powerful
in Secret of Mana. Like, sure, they you know, it gets you in the feels a little bit, but like, not the fucking same. I think it also is because
incredible.
Like, nothing happens in Secret of Mana really that's like emotional on the same level as those other two games. Spade.
Secret of Mana, I don't even want to say the story is bad because it basically barely even has a story. It's so hacked together.
That's what I was gonna say. There's so few things of like serious emotional resonance that happen in Secret of Mana that it's hard to attach that to any of the tracks. Even though there are tracks that do sound objectively like the sad song or, you know, the song about love and loss or whatever, but there's no corresponding events that really match that intensity in terms of what's happening on screen, right?
None.
And that's mostly because the story is barely counts as being comprehensible in it.
Barely.
And I mean, I'm pretty sure that that's a result of the fact it was intended to be a Super Nintendo CD game.
Right.
And when
I think that's the case, of course.
Yeah.
But honestly,
and when Nintendo decided
sequence.
Yeah. When Nintendo decided to axe the Nintendo PlayStation and created their biggest rival ever. Man, what a fucking origin story. God, that's so intense. But when they did that and they realized that they had to hack the game down to fit it on a fucking cartridge, by the time that, you know, they fit it on a cartridge, what was left barely made any sense. Like, remember where that fucking, like, the Scorpion Army, I think they're called, fucking steals the Mana Seed and then goes underneath Gaia's navel in a spaceship for some reason? And you have to go down there and kill them and take it back.
Is that when you have to go kill Jabberwocky, or is that the robot?
No,
Kilroy?
It's the robot Kilroy. It's the robot Kilroy that's down there, and that's where you got like a whip orb and shit.
It's like, I don't even want to say it's dumb because it's so wacky. It borders. It's not. It's so wacky. It's almost psychedelic. But it's too broken to be psychedelic, but it's not so broken that it's bad. It's charming, but it has zero emotional resonance. Dude, again, if it weren't for that intro scene explaining everything, the story would be completely incomprehensible.
Yeah,
you have no idea why you were doing anything until the Mana Beast suddenly showed up.
Any fucking point. I mean, even the parts where, like, Dialogue gets taken away, and, you know, and the girl is supposedly, that was her boyfriend or something.
But, like was he?
Yeah, was he? We don't even really know.
Was he?
I mean,
because, like, she never says anything about him. I mean, for fuck's sake, Link to the Past has a better story than Secret of Mana,
it's
and there's essentially
a more
no
comprehensible
dialogue
one, that's for sure. I mean, and there's also, like, and like, when you're in Pandora and the townspeople are taken over by Thanatos and shit, like, sure, I understand that that's intended to be sad, but you don't have any fucking idea what's really happening. Even, like, when the sprite, you know, fades away with Mana at the end of the game, you don't give a shit. You know?
No, you don't give a fuck about, we lost the sprite. Like, who cares? The few lines he had, he was a smart mouth prick with zero character development. Like, no one really gave a shit about each other. They all just are bullying each other the whole game.
Yeah.
Does Randy even have lines?
Huh?
The lead dude,
Yeah,
his
does
name
he
is
even
Randy.
have lines? I don't think. Maybe a few.
I think he's a silent protagonist. Is he a silent protagonist though, or not?
It's hard for me to say 100%, which is actually, this is embarrassing, the amount of times that both of us have played through that game.
Thank you. And in case this is testament to what we're talking about right now.
Yes.
We don't even know if it's a silent protagonist or not because the storyline is so meager. And that is why Secret of Mana soundtrack will always come as third to those two, because both of the other two, their stories are so profound and powerful that each of the songs, I mean, yes, Secret of Mana songs evoke like, oh, hey, it's that stage, cool, like, oh, the Kakara theme, I think about Kakara, but like,
but you don't think about how
like,
I felt in Kakara.
No,
I just think about
the
being
dance.
there. Yeah.
I'm not thinking about like when you walk into 2300 AD in Chrono Trigger and you hear the song that plays when you walk in and you see the smoke coming over and all those hobos all huddled and everyone looks so sad and sick and they're like, oh shit, did you come through the ruins? Really? You survived? Like, that shit is storytelling. I mean, come on, FF6, you play the fucking opera and there's just this synth going and it's like, yo, that shit is tight, son. I mean, like, I still know some of the lyrics just off the top of my head just from playing that.
Yeah. All right, so okay, I mean, no, your point well defended. We've gotten to the bottom of it. You are correct. I agree. Damn. I didn't see that coming.
Thank you.
I did not see that coming.
Listen, I love Secret of Mana and I love the score. It's just that it doesn't have everything the other two have to back it up.
Yeah, I mean, and that's true. That's completely true. There's just you don't even know what the story is, so there's no emotional resonance attached to any of the tracks. And no matter how
it's just fun gameplay.
Yeah, no matter how technically great the tracks are, they're not going to stand up like overall against something that has the emotional resonance of like the Coin song.
Yeah, exactly. They're great. They're great music for jamming out with your bud and getting wasted while you hack through some rabbites. Yeah. But it's not like, oh my god, this is an emotional journey.
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel anything.
No, nothing. It just makes you feel like, cool, Secret of Mana, what up, dude? Love this song.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Like, you know, it's like listening to Poison.
Poison means the song, right?
I mean the band, not like. I mean, like Bret Michaels, Rock of Love.
Oh wow.
I mean, like, ain't nothing but a good time. Every rose has its thorn. Fucking unskinny bop.
Man, that's a great fucking song too.
It's a great song. Exactly. Poison is great.
Yeah.
Poison is great. Don't get me wrong,
But it's like
dude.
cocaine music, and that is what Secret of Mana music is. It's like cocaine music. Do we really want to? Do we want to have said that? I think we do.
I mean, it's kind of true. It's Bret Michaels. It's wearing fucking guy liner and a cowboy hat and skinny jeans, trying to at like age 45, trying to pick up sad single women on MTV.
Whoa, that got a little dark. I'm not.
Have you never watched Rock of Love? Because you would absolutely love it.
Oh, no, of course I've watched it. I also watched that shit with Tila Tequila, too. Man, that was great.
Oh, my God. I've never seen Shot of... dude, I can't handle that because you know Tila Tequila is like a white supremacist now.
Yeah, I know. It's awful.
That's insane. Well, apparently... All right. Let me say this. Poor Tila, apparently she had like some kind of like brain surgery or traumatic brain injury or something, and that may have led to her going crazy. So... Tila, you know, I hope you get better because, you know, you're pretty hot.
Oh, God, that's awful. That's awful. She has a great sex tape, too.
Is it? I know she had one with, like...
Yeah, there's another chick in it. It's great.
I think she had one with two other ladies and intercourse.
I mean, to be completely fair, I'm not... I don't remember the specifics, but I remember thinking that it was cooler than like the Paris Hilton sex tape. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's dumb. Yeah, so right. So all right, listen. Secret of Mana deserves much better praise. Poison is a wrong comparison, but I'm trying to find something that's so good, but without like emotional. All right, I guess. All right. Okay. Secret of Mana is like Dragon Force, and FF6 and Chrono Trigger are like Dream Theater.
God, that's such a fucking nerd comparison.
It's true. Like those two bands are so alike in so many ways, and they're both so fucking awesome. But at the end of the day, Dragon Force is like fun, goofy music, and Dream Theater is like an explosive, emotional, like.
I mean, I'm not. I like
mayhem. I don't know.
Being probably one of the few people that is really familiar with those bands, like I feel like that is not a wrong comparison. No, but I think it's easier to just say that like Secret of Mana is like cocaine music. You know, it's like Streets of Rage 2. It's all rise, baby. You know.
Dude, yeah, dude. I mean, it's. Listen, Secret of Mana is great. The soundtrack is great. But you got to put the other two first for artistic integrity and just like where they came from, where the songs go, where they move to. I mean, when those first notes of Zeal come in Corridors of Time.
Oh God!
It's anyone who has ever heard that song is going to be like waiting for the fucking like the sitar roll there.
Yeah,
and that song has drums.
Oh God, it's such a fucking jam.
It has like,
dude.
I mean,
it's
got
such
like,
a fucking
it has like
jam.
hand drums, like really basic, like congas. But God, that song has sitar and these like bells. Like, oh my God, yes,
And
that
the
is
chord
so
progression
fucking good.
going throughout the whole thing is fucking beautiful.
Oh my God,
Oh
it's
my God.
spectacular. It's spectacular. A while ago, I sat down at a piano and figured out what they were doing, like chord wise, and I remember being really impressed by like how it.
I mean, I've looked
around.
at MIDI files of it before.
Yeah.
Do we want to continue with? Do we want to assign overall scores to the rest of the Final Fantasy series? I personally feel like the ones we mentioned already are the only ones that really count.
Well, all right, I'll tell you the ones I have actually played start to
Which
finish.
might be a terrible thing to say, but nonetheless, I've said it.
Confirmed, because I don't remember if I actually beat 7 or if I watched someone. If I played through 7 all the way. I played through 7 to disc 3.
Full disclosure,
but I don't know if
I'm in the same place. I don't remember if I beat it or only watched people beat it. I really don't know.
Definitely got far enough to be fighting Ruby and Emerald Weapon, which I believe is disc 3, and I think that means you can go beat it. But I don't think I watched people beat it. So games I know I beat. I beat 1 because I beat 1 on Dawn of Souls. Wait, that's what it was called, right? No. Dawn of Chaos.
I don't remember.
Chaos.
I don't remember.
Remember the one for GBA? I beat 1 on GBA. So I beat 1.
Really, you
4?
did? Wow.
Dude, when the GBA 1 and 2 version came out, I beat 1 100%, all the extra content, everything.
Holy shit, that's impressive. I don't think I've ever even touched. I don't think I've played 3 because they made a remake on the DS
bro,
that I really
I think
liked.
your ass bought that fucking game with me the day it came out.
I probably did.
So, because I remember, oh, dude, I'm 99% sure that's the case, because I remember all of us sitting around all night playing that game on our own GBAs in December 2004, very clearly. But anyway, so, okay. So, 1, 4, 6, 8, 10. Tactics. Does that count?
Yeah, I think Tactics counts, absolutely.
All right, so that is six FF games. Wait, are there any other side story games that I'm not thinking of? Like,
Not that count.
do they count though?
I thought you want to count Crystal Chronicles?
I've never beaten Crystal Chronicles. I've also played. I played through 4. Dude, I played 4.
Thank God for that.
I played 4 all the way through and beat it on. I don't know if I've ever actually. I don't know if I beat it on
4
SNES,
the one
to
with
be
Rose?
honest. Yes,
Oh,
Rosa and
yes.
Cecil and Kane the
Oh
Dragoon.
God, 4 is phenomenal. I forgot about
So
that. 4 is fucking great.
I know I beat 4 on GBA and DS. Absolutely. So, and I beat 6 on oh my God, I beat 6 on every system it came out for sure. All right, so that's confirmed, guaranteed. 1, 4, 6, 8, 10 tactics. 6 games.
Okay.
6 games confirmed. I can guarantee. I'm 100% sure I play that shit start to finish.
All right,
No doubt.
so let's go down the list. Number 1, what would you give it?
Am I ranking them in order?
No, just a score out of 10.
It's easier to rank them, to be honest, because I give them all like number one. I mean, fuck. First of all, it was like 13 years ago I played it, but I bet I give it like a 9, an 8. I mean, we're talking about relative to the others. Relative to the others on that list, I would rank it last, but I still think it's an 8 at least. But also, wait, let me be fair and say I'm not talking about the original NES version. I'm talking about the Game Boy Advance remake.
Okay, yeah, because
which
to be completely
alleviates-
honest, I would say the NES version, the original, especially even the first two, I think they border on unplayable.
Dude,
right
well,
now.
there are some serious issues. For example, right off the top of my head, I can tell you one major issue, which is if you attack an enemy and your homeboy kills that enemy first, you attack empty space. It does not auto-route you to the next enemy as it does in other games. They corrected this in all other Final Fantasies. So think about that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
That is so fucked up. So if you're trying to focus down a dude, you could just lose a turn if you overfocus. That is just cruel and unusual punishment. It seems useless. So, I mean, I would put 1 at the bottom of that pile. Oh, and it's a pile.
I was wondering if
all right. I have some issues with tactics because even though it's so spectacular, a while ago I figured out there's some way that you can break it. There's a glitch to give yourself unlimited job points, and when I did that, I broke it. And once I break a game that bad, it's hard for me. But still, tactics is so awesome. All right. So from least to best.
Yeah, do that.
1, 8, 7. Oh, fuck. 1,
You stupid
1,
bastard.
1, 8, 7. Tactics 10, 6. No, 1, 8, 7.
Wait, you're putting
All right,
8 second from the last?
If you remove the glitch from tactics, it's the second best. If you remove that glitch.
You're putting 8 right after 1?
Yeah, because I like the materia system more than the junction system. I think it's way more. I think the materia system is more straightforward and old school. I think the junction system is dope. I think the graphics are way better. But I think that 7 overall
is a better game.
It has a lot to it that I really, 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 really liked. A lot to it that I thought was really cool. I thought overall the characters were a lot more interesting, a lot more memorable. I barely remember any of the characters in 8. I remember Renoa and Squall.
What about
and
stupid Zell and shit and fucking and Seifer, dude? Come on.
Oh yeah, Zell. Isn't Seifer the villain?
Yeah, he's the Well, I mean, until the sorceress and shit makes herself.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I love the graphics and the way it plays out. I think it's really cool. I remember thinking the dance scene was awesome.
Hey, that's fine. I'm surprised
But, like,
that you put it at
7,
second from the last.
The characters in 7 are very memorable. The materia system is so cool. It's like the last vestiges of old school. Score's really solid. Like, I mean, again, FF8 I played it on an iPad. Like, I don't even know if I had sound, to be honest. I probably didn't.
Oh,
so I'm a little biased.
You're
there.
fucking killing
I finished
me.
it. And look, we're talking about like rating really great games against each other, but I'm just talking about in order. It's really in order of, honestly, in order of what I would want to play. Let's rank them in order of let's do it that way. Rank them in order of which ones I'd want to play. So number 1, FF6. Number 2, FF4. Number 3, FF Tactics.
Okay.
Number 4, FF10. Or number 4, FF10. 5, FF1. 6, FF7 without the PlayStation 4 game-breaking bullshit. And wait, I missed one. I don't know. The last one is 8. But the issue is that I played 8 on a PlayStation or on an iPad, and I think I lost a lot there. But also, like, again, I don't know.
Well,
dude,
you definitely did. Whether or not what you lost would be enough to change your opinion on it, I couldn't say. But there is definitely something lost in playing
it held my
on a
attention
fucking
enough to
poorly
finish
emulated
it.
iPad.
I mean, I finished it.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
I finished it, and I mean, even with it broken, I still had a ton of hours on it. I wish I knew how many. So FF8 would be the last one I would want to play again. FF7 would be after that, but none of this PlayStation bullshit. FF1 would be after that. Then I would want to play FF10, Tactics, 4, and 6. 4 and 6. 6 is the best. 4 is right behind it.
Wow, that's impressive.
For sure.
Okay. All right.
4 is because 4 is so straightforward. 4 is practically linear, and it does
That's
it
true.
so
That's
well.
true. But I like
does it
that.
so
I like
well.
some good
I
linearity
love
sometimes.
it. I love it. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
It blends the old and the new, where it was like hyperlinear versus the almost open. I mean, FF6, once you go to the world of darkness, is a completely open world where you can go anywhere, and that's huge, dude.
That's kind of true.
It's huge. FF4 is it's really fairly linear all the way through, but you get I want to say 3 different airships. You get 3 different airships, chocobos, and a hovercraft. I think
that's
that might
fucking
be
crazy.
it.
That's crazy, dude.
Maybe 2 different airships, but I think 3 airships. Actually, I know you get 3 different airships because your first airship goes down when you go into the volcano the first time, and then you get a second airship for the mainland, and then you get the lunar whale when you go up to the moon. Plus your hovercraft.
Man,
and
that game
yellow
is really
chocobo,
fucking sick, dude. People sleep on that shit.
black
That game is
chocobo.
fucking sick.
That game is incredible, and the DS remake is fucking spectacular.
Oh, I forgot there was a DS remake. That's awesome.
It's so good. I think is it voice acted?
No, it couldn't. No. Really?
Bro, I don't know. Probably not. It's DS. It seems like a lot. Maybe it's not voice acted. I don't know. But yeah, that's all right. So give me yours. Just give me yours. Give me yours. In first, tell me the ones that you know confirmed you have played all the way to completion. Remember, out of 15 of them and all the spin-offs, I can only confirm 6. So no judgment here. Tell me the ones you know
I'm
confirm.
surprised. I'm surprised that I have played and beaten more than you have.
Right?
I'm surprised.
It's crazy.
I'm surprised.
It's crazy, but it's true.
In order.
Okay, so the ones you've played.
Yeah, the ones I've played and beaten, or ones that I've played more than 50% of.
Played and to completion.
Okay.
Start at the beginning. Start at the beginning and go all the way through to from 1 to 15, including all spin-offs.
Okay. All right.
So the ones you've played and beaten.
All right, and this is in order of ones I would most like to play again to least. All right.
No. First, I just want to hear the ones you have played and beaten chronologically from 1 to 15.
Oh, okay. 3.
To give me a frame of reference.
All right. So 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 12, and 15.
You played and beat 3?
Yeah, on the DS version. Yeah.
All right. So tell me again.
3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, and 15.
3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm surprised I played and beaten more than you have. I'm very surprised.
Okay, so that's cool because you have quite a different sampling from me. All right,
Yeah.
so rank them now from want to play the most again to want to play the least.
Okay, so one I would most of the one, and I've played this so many times. I have the PC release of this game. That's how much, even though I can just play it on an emulator on my PC, I have the actual PC version of this, which I don't think there's any reason to actually have, but nonetheless, I have it. Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII is my favorite Final Fantasy. Hands down, none other even come close. Whether that is fueled mostly just by nostalgia because of what was going on in my life and shit the first time I played it, I don't know. I couldn't say. But regardless, 8 is at the top. I fucking love that game. Him and fucking Renoa, God, just fucking gets me right here, you know? I just fucking love 8. So after 8, FF6. For all the reasons that we've already gone over. But FF6 is arguably the most perfect iteration of the JRPG formula ever created. So, yes. I don't think I need to justify further than that. Right after 6, FF12. That game's battle system and the way that they work the license board into it and the gambit system so you can control and almost script in a rudimentary fashion the AI of the rest of your party, and how it invokes the holy trinity of MMO combat of a tank, DPS, and heals is so fucking cool. It's so fucking fun. It's so fun and it's so great. And you can so you script the AI of the other guys in your party. So you have one that's the tank, then you have range DPS, you have melee DPS, and you have healers. And you can script them all to perform those roles so fucking efficiently and successfully. It's so fun. And and there's a lot of other sort of MMO paradigms in there, a very important part of the gameplay is keeping your characters buffed. There's other games where you can cast spells that buff your the characters in your party, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. If you could spend one of your turns on casting a buff or just attacking, you would almost always attack instead, right? But in FF12, the amount that you can buff up your party members and shit and buff their stats has a significant impact on the gameplay and their performance. The same way that it does in a lot of MMOs. So 12 for no other reason than the fucking battle system alone, and also it takes place in Ivalice. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I would pronounce it like that.
Yeah, and it takes place in that world, which is just fucking awesome. The art style is gorgeous. Love it. Right behind 12 is 4. And right behind 4 is 10. It's interesting. I know that I put 4 before 10, but I would. Right behind 4 is 10. Right behind 10 is 15. And even though, and I go over this in my review also, but sure, FF15 suffers from the same problems that most open world games suffer from, whereas there's too much to do. There's so many things you can do. Your map is so bukkakeed with stupid little side mission icons and shit that, one, the sheer volume to it is overwhelming and intimidating and makes you just want to skip all of it and not deal with it. 2, the gameplay that comes from these side missions and everything is not unique in any way and has almost no impact on your character's performance and the way that the rest of the game carries out. So there's no motivation to go do it. And it creates one of the worst fucking sins of open world games is, like I said, there's so much to do, and also it doesn't organically lead you into doing those things. A great example of a game that does that right is Skyrim, right? Remember when we were playing Skyrim back in the day?
Yeah, Skyrim.
Skyrim. The brilliance about fucking Skyrim is that when we were playing it, we would just go and just decide a direction to go run in. And you would very gradually and naturally encounter things occurring that you could participate in. And they were compelling and interesting, and it was that, it's that sort of that guidance that you can barely feel it, this unseen hand sort of guiding you through these fun, exciting little things that you can encounter, and it doesn't feel engineered. It feels natural and organic, and it's very few open world games manage to pull that off. Skyrim is one of them, and also Breath of the Wild is another. Those are both master classes in open world game design. And while 15 is nothing even close to those things, the world is big and well designed enough so that I've actually just found myself booting the game up, intending to only play for a little while or check something out. And the next thing I know, 3 hours have gone by, and I've just been spending, hours just running around in this fucking world and driving the fucking car around and shit. So it is what it is, I guess. And then right below 15 is 9, and below 9 is 3.
Wow.
So there you fucking have it. 3.
Quite a list.
3 is a competent Final Fantasy game, but that's about all I can say for it. 9, again, the same thing. Competent Final Fantasy game, but nothing I find to be really compelling. But I feel like it's better designed overall than 3, which is why it gets above that. But yeah, overall, my favorite Final Fantasy game still wins out FF fucking 8.
Wow. Well, my law of averages, 6 takes the cake.
everybody, thank you so much for listening. If you've listened to this entire fucking thing, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe down below, and support us on Patreon if you have.